Good evening, everybody. My name is Bart Winkler. This is the Bart Winkler Draft Hang. We will be kind of just futzing around until the draft starts. So I'll be hanging out on YouTube until the draft starts, and then we will do the official show probably when the Packers are on the clock, as the Bears have just made their selection. Darnell Wright, offensive tackle from Tennessee. Tennessee is next, and then Detroit after that. So once the Packers are on the clock, pending a trade, is when I will start the official show. In the meantime, I'm going to put a StreamYard link in here if you guys want to chat about who you think they might take. I understand that literally everyone is doing some sort of draft show tonight. I'm behind. I'm watching. I couldn't get this stupid TV set up over here, so I'm watching on my phone. So I'm totally behind. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not tipping any picks. I just got it on the stream, which puts me like 30 seconds behind everybody else. So I don't think there'll be any need or fear of spoiling here. I, like many people, like to watch like the coverage and not get tipped off. I did look a little bit because I had some bets out there. I'll talk about those coming up, but I am expecting Paul and McTwo at some point. Just a couple comments coming in. Be professional tonight. Yes, professionality is the name of the game. The playoffs are over, and so I have to. We're referencing Game 5 draft show with the Bucks. Chuck Freeman once told me that anything goes in the playoffs. Swearing goes. Reckless behavior goes. When your team's in the playoffs, anything goes. Well, future employers, future coworkers, current family members subscribe to that theory. I'm not 100% sure, but that is the theory that I am going with. In the playoffs, anything goes. So as we're waiting here for the Packers to pick, and they're up in a couple of picks here, Tennessee's on the clock at 11. The Titans at 12 and the Packers at 13. I think that the guy I would like is Jackson Smith Najigba is who I would like. There's also the possibility of some tight ends, whether it's Michael Mayer or Dalton Kincaid, Notre Dame and Utah, respectively. I don't really know that there would be a pick that I would be that upset about at this point. I guess we'll see. Obviously, should they take Will Levis, that would be pretty stupid. But I don't think that there's a pick that I could be upset with. Now, I did go to Twitter, and I did just see who the Titans are going to take. And it is not anybody that I'm concerned about. But I won't spoil. Let me get the StreamYard link here on live. Again, you're just kind of hanging out. It's just think of me. Just think of this as like me at the wagon wheel. It's just me in my basement, having a couple drinks with you, reading some comments, and then I'll get into show mode in a little bit. Now, I want to see if I can set up the cable over here, but I feel it's too much effort. And I did decide to wear a Packers shirt, and I'm on like a hiatus from showing myself in real life for a while. Like I'm hiding because my gut is out of control. And so I'm waist up. I'm like a pregnant person on TV that they have to write, carry a laundry basket around or only put her behind a desk. That's how I'm being in my life. I'll only be showing from the chest up. Even I did a little video in Walmart yesterday, and I think you could start to see the protrusion, and I almost took it down because of that. How have we not fired you yet? Yeah, I don't know with Bud. He's got 2 years left, $16 million. He's got to get fired at some point, right? And I know there's like the weak report from Shams. Not that he was weak, but just the report is, well, is he getting fired? Is he what? I don't know. We'll see. Bart, let's do a Guardians of the Galaxy pod next week. I would be down for that. I'd be down. All right. I got someone here, so maybe I will start the show. I got a couple people here. You know what? We're just going to start the show. We're going to start the show. And I don't think either guy knows that the other guy's here. And I don't know when the last time they saw each other was. You guys ready? Starting the show. Good morning, everybody. My name is Bart Winkler. This is the Bart Winkler Show. It's the Friday, April 28th podcast. If you are expecting Bucks and Bucks fallout, I did put out on Thursday afternoon that episode. I did put out that episode, okay? That's an afternoon boney, a little special. It is not going to be talked about much here on this podcast. Bucks podcast separate, Packers podcast now. And as I'm talking to you on this version, I don't know who the Packers picked because it hasn't happened yet. We have the Titans on the clock, technically now the Lions, and then the Packers barring a trade. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me from Washington, DMV, Toby Altizer, my little potato wedge.
What's going on, Bart?
Toby, what's up?
Nothing much. I figured last year we had some luck with a good Packers pick when we were on a show together, so maybe we can get a good Packers pick this year.
Yep, that was a Friday night draft show.
Remember we were settled in to like hang out for a couple of hours with the Packers not picking for a while, and then what? Packers traded?
Packers traded. I barely remember. I always drank during the Friday night shows. And joining us for the first time in a while, but a returner to the show, and another former, actually, I think he got out before the ship came crashing down. Big E, Evan Heffelfinger.
Let's go.
Boys, it's good to see you.
Let's go.
Hello.
What a big day.
I did not get out before the ship. I went down with it.
Oh, no, you didn't?
No, I distinctly remember texting with Evan Heffelfinger the day of.
Oh, yeah, then he got a new job, then he got fired from that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm confusing.
See, draft, I volunteered for free to do your guys' draft show last year, and I got a no. So I'm happy to be here now.
Well, happy to have you. Evan Heffelfinger, Toby Altizer, two disgraced fan employees. Toby's still in radio. Evan, I don't even remember what you do. Are you liking your thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's work. I'm a secretary, basically, but I get to do cool stuff, like have my nights free sometimes.
Like secretary favors for your boss?
Next question.
Are you like a Don Draper secretary type secretary, or?
No, because I have rights, but
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll catch everybody up on the draft so far, and then we can talk about it a little more after the Packers. And you guys are welcome to stay as long or as not long as you want. I'm happy to see you guys both here. Bryce Young goes number 1.
Shocker.
CJ Stroud goes number 2. Your boy had that one.
Okay. Did anyone actually believe all the hype that Stroud wasn't going to go number 2? What? This is why the week of NFL draft talk is just so absurd.
No. Wait, you guys can't be. Oh, okay. Yeah, try not to do spoilers in the comments.
Yes, please.
Until your boy, I don't care what you guys do.
I'm watching on YouTube TV, so I'm sure I'm like 45 seconds behind anyway.
Yeah, I'm streaming as well, so I'm going to be late. And
if you guys don't want to have spoilers in the comments, you can work it out for yourself. I've got it on my phone.
When Washington comes up at 16, I can promise you I will step away for a second.
All right, yeah, my DraftKings is getting slaughtered, but I was good in my first 2. I took CJ Stroud at 2. I got him at plus 500, so $7 bet, $42.
Nice.
Pretty low key stuff, but every win is a good win. I just figured that like the argument that I had with the Texans was they knew the whole time they were going to take a quarterback because they thought they'd be 1 all year. And then they screwed themselves. So it's not like they were just going to throw all that out. Oh, now we're 2. Now we won't take a quarterback. They knew these guys. So I just figured they'd take a quarterback. Then at 3, we have Will Anderson Jr. as the Texans trade back up. I had Anthony Richardson going 3. I figured that the Colts would trade up.
I had Will Anderson going 3, but not to the Texans.
So that's garbage. 4 was Anthony Richardson. 5 was Devin Witherspoon. I had Tyree Wilson. 6 was Paris Johnson Jr. And then I thought Bijan Robinson was going to go to the Raiders. I thought they were going to do something crazy with the Raiders and either force the issue of Josh Jacobs or just have a dynamic backfield. He does not go 7. They take Tyree Wilson, and Bijan goes 8. That was 10. I would have won $500.
Or
Then
is
at
at least that CJ Stroud ticket covering you a little bit?
Yeah, it pretty much covers everything.
Well, there you go.
Jamar Gibbs, the running back from
my
Alabama, goes to the Lions.
Wow.
Wow.
Where was he mocked?
Wow.
Was he in the first round in any mock?
He was going to go late first round, if anything. What does that mean for DeAndre Swift?
Yeah, they just signed David Montgomery. All right, lots to catch up on. Then Jalen Carter goes 9. I had him going 8. I had Broderick Jones going 9.
Holy crap, man. Sorry, my lighting in here sucks. So when I take my phone down, I look like I disappeared.
Darnell Wright, Peter Skoronski then goes, and then Jamar Gibbs to the Lions. So the Packers are officially on the clock. I guess at this point, whoever we want, we can have.
My guy
it's a
fell.
matter of who do we want.
Oh,
Are we
My
taking?
dad texted me before. I keep airing my dad's dirty laundry, but he's like, "Did the Lions trade down just to screw us?" I go, "Dad, Lions got their own problems. They're not trading down just to screw us. They traded down, Dad, to screw themselves."
I know no one cares about Washington on this, but I pray Christian Gonzalez falls to 16 now.
Oh yeah, he was supposed to go pretty high.
I didn't think there was any chance he'd be there.
Toby and Evan are here. We are talking as the Packers. There's 5 minutes left on the clock, which means that if you're watching anywhere, I'm going to do what all stations do is I'm going to go to commercial break because that's what everybody does when the Packers are on the clock. So we'll be right back. And we're back. I want to remind you about my good buddies at happyplacehemp.com. Happy Place Hemp promo code is BART, 25% off every order at happyplacehemp.com. The gummies, the tinctures, the cream. I know Evan likes to put them on his face and during times. I'm going to bring also in here Basement Dave. And tonight I'm going to cap the boxes at 4.
Nice.
Because last night I think I had a 9 box. And that was probably a little too much with the Bucks coverage.
Oh, Toby. Hey, man.
What's going on, man?
I got Toby and Evan Heffelfinger.
Oh, and Evan.
What's the pick here, we think?
It has to be JSN, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
What about a tight end?
They'd trade back if it was a tight end.
I don't want to trade back here.
The only reason I wouldn't trade back if you're going tight end is because you don't necessarily need a tight end that can do everything. You need a receiving tight end, and the best one at that is Dalton Kincaid. So I wouldn't mess around if you're going to go tight end. I just take him here.
That seems to be the consensus. Is Kincaid.
Well, I think all of Packers Twitter wants Jackson Smith and the Jigba.
If you take Jackson Smith and Jigba, I think that's the better pick.
I have a draft announcement. Personally, Bart, when the Packers pick is in, I'll announce that.
What?
Oh no, it's a thing. Don't worry. You've met my children.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got an announcement. You know,
You're having another kid?
Damn it, I'll do it now.
What? What are you doing? You're having another kid.
Yes.
Yay.
Surprise, number 4. Oh.
Congrats.
How old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
I am a little bit older than you. I'm 39. This was a not planned surprise.
How old's your youngest right now?
5. He'll be 6 in a couple weeks.
Fuck you. And you probably threw all that shit out.
Yes. That's why that stack is over there. My wife's friends and family, they gave her what they call a sprinkle.
Oh.
Like a baby shower, but it's not. I mean, I don't know. It seemed pretty full on baby shower to me.
I'll give you a pro tip for anyone going to baby showers is that everybody buys like the toddlers and the 1s and 2 diapers. Buy some 4s and some 5s for these people.
Yes.
Because a lot of people buy the 1s and 2s.
Diverse.
Get the 4s and 5s. Get them some inventory. Get them some stock.
Yep. I can buy a bunch of stuff in between. Yeah.
I don't know the Packers pick yet. I don't know if anybody on Twitter does or the YouTube comments. I've covered it up.
I don't know. I got it on back there.
Yeah, we both are watching the same XFL commercial.
Right.
I was at
Kobe, this spring football shit sucks, man. I'm all the way out on spring football.
Oh, I like the DC Defenders because they're good, but I don't even watch them. So,
well, XFL's got one. They did it by division, so one team's 7-4 and out, and one team's 4-7 in their division and in.
Yeah, my Vegas Vipers did not do well this year.
No,
but it's a rebuilding year. We're gonna come back strong next year.
I'm gonna hawk the ESPN audio when I get a chance. God, why is Greeny on this too? Do they have any? I thought ESPN had like world's biggest bench.
Hey, did you not see the layoffs?
Well, I saw all the layoffs for the radio. It said national radio in trouble. Am I going to get fired from the same company twice in 1 year?
That's got to be a record, right?
Yeah. Is that unprecedented?
All right, here's the Packers pick.
Yep, pick is in. Here we go.
And if you guys see it, just be quiet.
I have no volume on, so I'm listening to you guys.
And I think you're a little.
I don't think I'd ever go to the draft to stand in the crowd. I'd need like a table.
13th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft.
What the hell is that?
Packers select Lucas Van Ness.
Oh
no.
Okay, is that good?
He's he gives you versatility inside and outside as a rusher. He'll give you some help on the edges with Gary coming back from injury. From what I understand about Lucas Van Ness, he didn't play a whole lot.
Fun of him.
Well, I mean, he didn't play a whole lot at Iowa, but like from what I heard, he's pretty freakish as an edge rusher. He can shift inside if you need him to. So maybe when Gary comes back, he'll rush from the inside with Preston and Gary on the outsides. But I don't know. I would have gone Smith and Jigba or Dalton Kincaid personally, but
yeah, I was leaning tight end. But hey, Toby, you sold him on me, I guess.
They've got. If there's one reason not to go tight end, it's that other than Kincaid, the guys that you can get second, third, maybe even the fourth round are probably just as good as the other tight end. So I don't know. I don't necessarily love the pick, but I don't hate it.
Let me read some of the comments that I'm seeing on Twitter from people that I'm following. Jedi passed on JSN. He was right fucking there. Lisa, you guys realize it's okay to take a receiver in the first round, right?
No. Clearly.
Joey, shout out to the Bucks and Packers for giving me double right hook combo 2 nights in a row. I hate sports. Taylor, great. Another fucking defensive player. JFC, it's like we want love to fail. Bill, more first-round capital on the defense. What could go wrong? Martin, still no skill positions. Get me the fuck out of here. Ryan, Jordan Love throwing to Walmart greeters. Team Girl Dad.
My great uncle.
Team Girl Dad. Oh, you fucking turds.
No, but for real,
Freaking
Toby.
Pittsburgh trades up to 14. They're going to take Christian Gonzalez.
That's what you think?
They either that or they're going to go Joey Porter Jr.
I guess people are saying the pick was so bad they went to the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
If you're watching on ABC, what are you doing? Who's watching on ABC? Why?
I wanted to see the Jonas Brothers talk to Kirk Herbstreit, okay?
Number 1, you watch NFL Network.
Yes.
Number 2, you watch ESPN. Number 3, you watch ABC if you don't have access to the other 2. The ABC draft version is like people that have never, like I watch soccer, I watch the World Cup, and for a while soccer was every soccer broadcast was, well, those of you that don't know the sport, this is a corner kick, which means they kick it at the corner. Like they're being, so this is it's like the people that only watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is what the ABC draft coverage is for.
What are the chances Pittsburgh moves up from 17 to New England's pick at 14 to take a corner, and New England moved back because they're going to take Will Levis, and it didn't matter?
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of white dudes in that room just slapping backs and shaking hands. Seemed like something was going on.
They took Christian Gonzalez, I bet.
Well, I don't care about picks being ruined now. I just didn't want the Packers pick to be.
No, okay, so Toby, you're the smartest man in the room.
Hey.
What do you think? What do you think Packers pick?
What, if you want me to give it like a grade?
No, just did it shit the bed, or was it like, okay, we'll see?
I think it's a we'll see. I don't think it's awful. Like I think there have definitely been worse first round picks from the Packers, but
Sure.
I mean, there's probably some uncertainty with Rashawn Gary, so you make sure that you get an edge rusher to go alongside him. He has some flexibility, from what I understand, to go outside to in. So, I mean, I think he's a solid player that can help out the defense, but at some point you got to help out the offense. And I don't know that I like passing on those guys for Van Ness, but I mean, if I gave it a grade, it'd be like a C, B minus.
I think the problem is nobody can trust. We can see with our eyes how good JSN is. And I know that he was banged up this year, but the year before that, he was an absolute monster. And the Ohio State receiver factory is incredible. What do they got? Marvin Johnson Jr.'s kid there now, or Harrison's kid. They are incredible. So I think what we know is we know those skill kind of guys, and we know that he's good. Like, we know JSN is good. Another problem is, where would Van Ness have gone if not to us? Why are we stickling? Why are we like so eager to get up to 13 from 15 if we're just going to use it on Van Ness? Now, I do have Dane Brugler's draft board here for edge rushers. He is 3 behind Will Anderson Jr. and then Tyrese Wilson. The strengths are as follows. He owns a long, stout frame with an accessible power base. I'm just like...
That's big legs.
Now, I've done a failure already, is that I'm reading this with proper credit. I need to read it right like everybody else. There's a lot I like about this Van Ness. Is it Van Ness? Vanis? Luke Vanis, Joe. He's one of these guys. He's got a long, stout frame with a accessible power base. Kind of like he could explode. A little bit like that. He explodes out of his stance. Kind of naturally strong guy. Plays hard. Real hard player. Off the top of my head, he earned the coach's 2022 Appreciation Award on special teams. That's something we always need. But he never started in college, FYI. His weaknesses. By the way, he was born July 6th, 2001. So I used to think you motherfuckers were young.
Yeah, I don't like that.
This sucks.
Right,
these guys are so young. His youth is evident. Often mistimes his hands or rush moves. Competes with the touch of insanity. Can do a better job anticipating set points. Overall, Van Ness needs coached up with his pass rush construction and overall pacing, but he's an ascending player and competes like a grizzly bear with his fierce power and explosive twitch. He has the upside of an impactful NFL starter with inside-outside versatility, regardless of scheme.
The good part is we all trust the Packers defensive coaches because we all think that Joe Barry knows what he's doing So, of course, it's a great pick then. Christian Gonzalez is still on the board.
All right, so Broderick Jones went 14 to the Steelers. And now do the Jets take JSN just to be a
Well,
dick?
they took
They're
Aaron
going
Rodgers.
to.
I hope they
That's what
do.
They're showing right now. They got Aaron Rodgers.
I hope they do. And then I hope Ron Rivera sprints to hand in Christian Gonzalez.
So you want Gonzalez? You think the Jets could take Gonzalez?
Maybe. I mean, they could pair him with Sauce, but I think they're probably going to go offense.
Let's see. Anybody else want to comment on these picks? C Sports gives it a B-, CBS Sports rather. Last person. Why am I doing this again? I can't like read.
Brian
Brian
Balaga,
Balaga.
Iowa.
Ow.
Ron Balaga, Iowa.
Iowa. All right, dudes. I'm going to take off. Good to see everybody. Toby, you're awesome. Love to see you, Evan. Haven't heard you in a while. Bart, as always.
Appreciate it, man.
See you guys.
Bye, Dave. Congrats.
Evan, you're awesome too, by the way.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what I like about this Packers pick. The number one thing that I like. What I like about the Packers pick is that I don't like the Packers pick, which gives me something else to complain about other than the Bucks. This NFL draft coming this is the most perfectly timed NFL draft ever because it comes not less than 24 hours. 24 hours ago, the Bucks were up like 10-7, and I was feeling still nervous.
If you want to play devil's
hell is formed, and now I'm with you two knuckle dicks.
I mean, if you want to play devil's advocate, one thing that this draft has a bunch of in terms of receivers is small guys that can come out of the slot. And so if you were going to take Jackson Smith and Jigba, he was probably going to play primarily out of the slot, Watson and Dobbs on the outside. I mean, you can still find a wide receiver, but I don't think they're going to be of the caliber of Jackson Smith and Jigba, unless Jordan Addison is there. I really like Addison too.
Yeah, there are a lot of guys, and I think since the Packers took 3 receivers a year ago, right, that all have the intention. Who's the other one? Torrey, Dobbs, and Watson. It's not like those guys are going anywhere.
I think we got
a level of talent.
Yeah, pump the brakes on Samori Toure, though. I know a lot of people are expecting him to be. The dude's a 7th rounder.
Well, I understand that. Like, yeah, I'd rather, but I think they must feel from an area of comfort. Although, who's the number 2 receiver on the Packers right now?
Well, and I don't know why organizations do this. The Packers aren't the only one, but the Packers are very stubborn in that. Like, is it just written in their organizational philosophy that they cannot draft a receiver in the first round?
Watson, Dobbs, and Torrey. They took 3 receivers last year. Those are their 3 receivers. Mm-hmm. The only other guys listed on this depth chart are Bo Melton and Jeff Cotton.
Jesus Christ.
Well, and I know people don't like.
I believe it was those 2 who squared off in the 1955 Alabama City Council race. Bo Melton and Jeff Cotton are 4 and 5. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, and I know people probably haven't talked about this a whole lot, but you have to bring into the fact that Christian Watson missed time and Dobbs missed time. And if that's going to be the case where either one of those guys missed time, Samori Toure is really your number 2 wide receiver, do you want Jordan Love to fail?
No. What?
What?
Who wants Jordan Love to fail?
No, I'm saying, like, if you're not going to bring in at least another wide receiver, you need 3. If Samori Toure is your 4th receiver, you can live with that. If he's your 3rd receiver and you had guys both miss time last year as your 1 and 2, you're in danger of having him have to play a significant role for this offense, and you could really put Jordan Love in a bad spot.
Drew says, I would have been mad if they draft a 1st-round receiver the year they trade Rodgers.
I kind
that
of
would have been a narrative, but I think they need one.
Look at the game that Jordan Love started last year. He looked good. His problem was he had no time because the offensive line was terrible and wouldn't block for him, and nobody would catch the ball. So what do you do to address that to help this guy be the best he can be? You get another edge rusher, take another defensive player in the 1st round for what? the 10th time in 11 years or something ridiculous like that. You could have done better. If you're going to take
Brian says just replace Dean Lowry with Dean Lowry.
it hurts.
Oh shit.
Well,
I think so. What some people are saying too is if the Jets take JSN, that'll suck. And now, like, that's what I'm trying to avoid against is having to care about what they do.
Well,
Right.
and the other thing is people forget, like, Devontae Wyatt was 1 first-round pick last year too. So is he going to contribute now? He's more of an interior guy than Van Ness is an edge guy. But, I mean, is he going to do something this year for the Packers or not?
Are the Jets going to make this fucking pick or what? Pick is in and Toby's Commanders are on the clock. This is a good time to tell you guys about omahasteaks.com.
Love them.
$129 is their burger flight package. And the burgers are actually made out of steak meat.
Ooh.
So like ribeye burgers and New York strip burgers. So they've put these things in packages and then that gives you the savings. And then my code right now on that package, Bart, at checkout's $20 off. So check that out. Promo code BART, B-A-R-T, at omahasteaks.com. That same promo code BART, as you know, works at happyplacehemp.com. Chad wants some Tim Shea analysis. Yeah, Tim's sleeping. Tim
Shout
is
out to him, though, getting a job.
Yeah, look at him
Tim
working
got a
hard.
job. Yeah, Tim got a job.
I saw him at the Brewer game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
He looks like Tim Shea.
Did you guys talk or?
Yeah, I mean, we said hello, did a handshake, did the, hey, how's it going? Good, how about you? Good, okay. And then he went to go buy a beer, so.
Because, you know, sometimes when you're real close or like when you work with someone, after the passage of time, when you see someone out in public, you stop saying hi.
It depends. Yeah, I guess it depends on the relationship you have with them. I'm sure there are some people that I would see and not say hello, but I like Tim. I would
Like
say
the
hello.
other day, I was at the fan station, saw Sparky, and I was just like, and I'm just kidding. James is just joining, wants to know my thoughts on the pick. Well, I think my initial reaction, because I was on here live, it was like I did. Like I thought that, and I don't know much about Van Ness. Even the Iowa games, you know, I do watch. That's the problem. I'm not watching the defense. Also, I didn't like watching Iowa, so I never.
Well, you should have had plenty of time because their offense is never on the field.
I just saw a lot of people making fun of like how close he is with his sister and shit. That's really all I've seen about Van Ness. That's really all I've got up to this point.
I just think it's underwhelming.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's we want these sexy.
Well,
guys
there was
that we know are good, and this might be another one that like, what's his nuts? Quay Walker and Rashawn Gary taken high, but we might have to wait on.
Right.
And I don't think we want to do that.
Well, the problem is you had a chance for what many people would have considered a home run with Smith and Jigba, or even like a double with Kincaid, and you passed for a single.
What's taking longer? The Packers trading Rodgers to the Jets finally, or them announcing this goddamn pick?
There's a Make-A-Wish kid announcing it, so you might want to take that back.
I'm not watching. I'm not even watching the draft anymore. I'm just updating the website.
He did the Jets chant.
How's that go again? Jets? Jets?
They took Will McDonald IV. Who?
They took Billy Mack?
My girlfriend's brother played football with him in high school.
For true?
Yeah.
Who is he?
Waukesha North represent.
Ooh, Christian Gonzalez. Come on, baby.
Jason says, I think the Packers made an Omaha mistake.
That should be your promo code.
Promo code Van Ness.
Promo code Packers mistake.
Promo code Van Ness will actually get you 2 deals up than the deal that I have, and then you could have got the deal 5 picks later.
It'll get you a deal that might be good in a couple years.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm in complete darkness, but
Well, now this is taking a pivot. This is the Toby Altizer Washington pregame show. So you want Christian Gonzalez? He cornerback was mocked to go a little higher than this.
yeah, I thought he was going to go top 10. I didn't think there was any chance he'd be there. I thought it was going to be choosing between guys like Joey Porter, Deontay Banks. I thought Devin Witherspoon for sure was going to go like he did, and I thought Gonzalez would go somewhere at least before probably pick 12.
What pick could they make that would make you upset?
Will Levis. I might throw my laptop out the window if they do that.
Well, who do they have there now? Howell and who's their veteran?
Jacoby Brissett.
Nice.
That's where he is.
Yeah, I mean, if they draft a quarterback here, I'd be so frustrated.
I really thought Seattle should have taken a quarterback.
But who? Are they going to take?
Well, no, I thought what they should have done was traded up to 3 to get Richardson.
Don't worry, the pick is in, but they're going to commercial.
They always do right before the Commanders pick. Book it.
Jake says, Toby looks so terrified, LOL.
I don't trust my organization to make the correct choice.
Do you think Dan Snyder forces some awful pick just before he leaves to fuck over the new guys?
I think Dan Snyder probably called into the draft room and they answered the phone and just laughed and said, "Shut up, Dan," and hung up.
Do you think he called in and was like, is that Graham Mertz have any? Did he declare?
Hey, with his ability to scout, he probably would love that pick.
Graham Mertz, we're gonna be watching. Are we gonna get Florida games on TV the same way we're gonna get shitload of Rodgers games?
Hey, how excited were you to see Brett Bielema hugging Devin Witherspoon as a top 5 pick?
Oh yeah, Illinois. They're the ones that knocked us out last year.
What are the chances that Anthony Richardson plays early this year and you have a crazy running game of Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor?
I'm for it.
I think that'd be fun.
What if Washington took Hooker?
I wouldn't hate it as much as Levis, but I still wouldn't like it.
I barely know her.
I rated the quarterbacks with Sparky. I told him Young is 1, Stroud is 2. He said Stroud's not going 2. I said, he is.
Stroud's number 1 for me, but.
And then I said Richardson. Then I said a garbage can. Then I said Zach Wilson 2.0, Will Levis.
I'm actually kind of shocked that Washington didn't trade out of this pick, to be honest.
How do you think Sparky feels about Richardson for his Colts?
I would be pumped.
I'm sure he tweeted about it.
Yeah, I would be excited about Richardson if I was the Colts. I'd be excited about all these guys. I think, Houston was always going to take Stroud. They were always going to take Stroud at 2. And Young was always going to go 1. And for whatever reason, people thought that some stupid test that the best thing about this test is it's not like, oh, you got a 19 on the SAT. Like most of us have taken that or the ACT or have an understanding what that is. All of a sudden, everyone's like, oh, yeah, by the way, there's this test he did bad on. And we're like, oh shit.
And then my favorite thing is everyone's like, everyone that's taken this test that they've done poorly, they've never done well in the NFL. How many people have taken this test? 15?
Yeah. And how come we've never heard about this test until the other day?
Like, when dudes don't get 80% out of the 10 people we tested, they don't do well. Also, those 10 people that were tested, none of them were taken in the first round.
But
and the other thing I always say, the other thing I've been saying about Young is that Bryce Young went his whole college career without anyone caring about his height. He's going to go his whole pro career without it ever coming up. But from January to April, all anyone's going to ask him about is if he can grow. Because it's the only time of the year in these guys' careers that they care about the height. Because we forget everything we've ever seen on tape and try to find every measurable we can to talk ourselves out of what we know or to talk ourselves out of some other. I don't understand why people just don't watch the tape and go from there. We're always trying to talk ourselves out of picks.
Well, and that's why you saw some of the stuff at the top of the draft go back to what we all knew was going to happen. Like if you would have told people at starting, right after the college football season, right after the year finished, that it would have been young Stroud, everybody would have said, duh. But somehow it's shocking now.
Right. I did see who the Commanders took.
Yeah, don't spoil it. Hold on.
Evan, how come you didn't join me for any Bucks coverage and you're joining me tonight?
It's a great question. I could make up an excuse for you. I don't have a good answer.
I've been busting my ass for a year to be the Bucks postgame show for the playoffs, and then they get bounced out before the goddamn draft.
The majority of the games that I was going to join, they lost so bad or something happened that pissed me off that I was like, okay, I'm not in the right mindset. I can't do it.
Yeah.
The pick
No,
is
I
in.
didn't want to do it the other night.
I don't blame you. The last two games, I didn't talk for like an hour after the game.
I don't love the pick because Christian Gonzalez was there with Emmanuel Forbes, but I didn't know anything about him. And then like 3 days ago, I saw that he was starting to get mocked to Washington. So I don't hate it, but I
So
don't
they
really
did
know.
take a cornerback for you?
They did take a corner, Emmanuel Forbes, but I would have rather taken Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah. I can't really break down corners.
Well, to be honest with you, the crazy part is all the guys that were in this draft process that I thought would be there were Joey Porter Jr., Deontay Banks out of Maryland, Devin Witherspoon would go early, Christian Gonzalez, and I didn't even hear about this Emmanuel Forbes guy until like 4 days ago, and here they take him at 16 when Gonzalez was on the board.
The reference sheet that I've been using, the Athletics Dane Brugler, for cornerbacks, he had Gonzalez 1, Witherspoon 2, Porter 3, Banks 4. First two guys, well, Witherspoon got drafted high, and then now Emmanuel Forbes was 5. I'll give you a quick rundown on him.
Just off the dome, right?
His rail-thin build and marginal play strength are concerns, along with his over-aggressive tendencies, but he's a light-footed and long with the mental processor and confidence to be a playmaker. If NFL teams are willing to overlook how skinny he is, they will find a darn good football player.
Don't you love when they start a first-round draft pick's description with negatives?
Yeah. How's Kyler Murray's height working out for him? That's from Broad J. Ford or something.
Broad Fjord.
Broad Fjord. Murray's problems aren't his height. They're that he should have played baseball. If Kyler Murray was drafted by the A's, would that have saved the Oakland A's? 414-799-1250. When is Bart eating that lawn chair? Okay, if I said I would eat a lawn chair now if they didn't make the – if I eat the lawn chair, I will die. So if anyone wants to keep pushing me on eating the lawn chair, I would die. What just happened there?
Oh.
Toby got so mad he pounded the desk, and then his audio cut out.
I see the Patriots made a pick.
Was it Gonzalez?
Yeah.
Was it? Toby broke his mic. No. Look at it. Toby, we can't hear you, which is better.
Yeah,
Oh.
this is you need
There
to
it
watch
is.
on YouTube.
There it is.
This one.
I still can't hear you guys. I must have really screwed this up.
Well, we can hear you. What were you saying? Talk, you. You, Toby, talk. You.
There it is.
Shooting.
Okay.
There it is.
You.
Oh my gosh. I
Look, it's
screwed
like
up.
90 degrees in my basement.
Of
You
course,
mean in your living room.
Gonzalez,
Yeah.
and they take him.
Well, sorry, buddy.
I'm so
Welcome to our misery.
I hate Ron Rivera. Such
Why?
an idiot.
I thought he was Riverboat. I am sweating down here, like profusely. Matt says if Belichick takes him, then you know you fucked up. I don't know. They have their drafts been that good lately. I mean, Mac Jones sucks.
But he was rapping on the sideline.
Mac Jones has the hips of like a a chick after her third pregnancy. Now, I feel like that could be taken as sexist, but I also feel like that's an apt way to describe his hips.
If you have 2 more kids, then you can accurately say that you know from experience.
I'm not going Basement Dave about it. I can't believe that mofo's having a 4th kid.
Yeah.
Jake wants to know if I'm having a heart attack. I'm calling it having a Bart attack. Yeah, maybe I am feeling the heat from my TV. That's a good question. That's a good question.
Do you have the fireplace on in the background? That could be it.
You know what? That piano I have is actually radioactive.
Oh, okay.
I got it on Craigslist. It was used by the lead physician at Chernobyl.
Okay.
So that could be the case. Evan, let me ask you a question, and then I'll get back to some football.
Okay.
How much of the Brewers have you been following and like watching? Because you've had your stake in the Brewers.
I have either watched or been at every game.
Wow.
I think I've gone to 4 games so far this year, and I've seen Eric Lauer pitch 3 times. So
Jesus Christmas.
yeah, I'm doing great. I'm usually good for that. Last year it was Jason Alexander I saw 4 or 5 times. I saw Adrian Hauser 7 times the year before. I'm really good at that.
I had a year where I saw Chase Anderson all the time.
Yeah, that's fair. They're fun to watch. It'd be a lot more fun if they could stop getting injured and if they could score runs like they did a couple weeks ago.
I got Toby Altizer here. I got Evan Heffelfinger here. Paul Imig joining us for the 3rd time this week, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Paul!
What's up, guys?
What's up, Paul? Toby's on a darkness retreat since they didn't take the cornerback he wanted.
Yeah, we wanted a corner, just not this corner.
He wanted Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah, okay, it makes sense.
So when Lucas Van Ness got drafted, I just kind of like did a face like, oh no, because what I've been saying, and people, who do you want? Who do you want? All right, I'm on the Smith in Jigba train. I want him. Yeah, I do. Or a tight end, whatever. And then they take Van Ness, and the only thing I've really seen about him is that like he's super close with his sister or something. Like just some like weird off the field, like he's a weird guy stuff.
Okay.
I guess he's fine. It seems like with skill guys, we always want a skill guy because we know more about them. When you
Right.
watch college football, you're not watching for Lucas Van Ness, a rotational player at Iowa.
And even if you were watching for Lucas Van Ness, you would not have had a lot of opportunities to watch him because
Right. Even though they were part of this defense that was like embarrassingly good in terms of their offense. Lucas Van Ness is one of these guys that doesn't pop up on my radar until the draft process begins. Throughout college football, as much of it as I watch, I just don't know the guy. I know like the Will Andersons of the world and the Tyree Wilsons, the guys that are truly making plays, but everybody else, you learn about in this couple of months here. And I think that, and oh, by the way, fun fact, Lucas Van Ness, you'll like this, big hockey player.
nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Someone said it's drafting Dean Lowry to replace Dean Lowry. I think what it is that we as fans, the casuals, observers, we know the skill guys better. And with Van Ness, it feels like to us, here we go again, another defensive guy who might need a year or two.
Yeah.
And we want guys that are going to come in and make an impact right away and just be dominant. And here we are at the 15 pick, trade up to the 13 pick, and think maybe there's going to be someone that really is a game changer for us, when the Packers may look at it as 2023 is going to be a year where we want to win 7 games. We could win the NFC North. We're not going to win the Super Bowl. We know that. So let's make our team better for 2024 when Rodgers is off the books and when we got a year under the belt of Jordan Love. So that seems to be, and I don't know, maybe he comes in right away and makes an impact. This is just an completely long setup for you, but just trying to catch you up on where we are. We talked about the receivers, why we would have liked a receiver, even though we drafted 3 last year. It's because those 3 guys we drafted last year are our top 3 guys. They've got Bo Melton and Jeff Cotton as their 4 and 5, that's a reenactment of the famous Tuscaloosa City Council race of 1957. On the defensive side of the ball, if you're going to have this guy as an edge rusher, I mean, you do need guys. You still need guys. This is the thing, too. They need a lot of guys. So it's not like any pick can be that terrible. I just, the sell is we're taking a non-starter from Iowa, and I don't know that he's going to make an immediate impact. We've just kind of been there, done that, I think, Paul.
Wow. Good intro. Yes, I agree with everything you said. Let me see who the Lions take here real quick. But, casual or not, like you look through the skill players that were available, and, you had your pick of any wide receiver, you had your pick of any tight end. And by the way, with the 18th pick coming up for Detroit, as of this moment, you still would have any wide receiver that you could pick. You would still have your pick of any tight end. So they have the assets to move back up if they really like Dalton Kincaid, which they reportedly did. If they really like Jackson Smith and Jigba, which they reportedly did. It's not too late. The 18th pick is about to come off the board, and it's not too late yet. I'm curious what the division-winning NFC North champion Detroit Lions might do.
I'm going to stay on until the end of the first round just because I don't know if they're going to trade back up.
Let's see what they – another guy from Iowa, Jack Campbell. Who the hell is Jack Campbell?
That's a guy that
linebacker
from the mock draft simulators a lot the past couple days. He's like a second or third round pick.
I don't think that – here's a hot take. I don't think that every person should have access to the mock draft simulator, or you should only be able to tweet a total of 3.
Hey, Will Levis to Tampa at 19?
It would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, you think they got to take a quarterback? What if they took Hooker? Like Levis, and I don't know that Levis is dropping. This dumb Reddit post that said he's going to go number 1. Like, that was so stupid. And then betting markets had to adjust because then people rushed to the window for that. So, by the way, the only bet that I did get right was C.J. Stroud 2 to the Texans.
Yeah, we'll unpack that in a minute, but because I know you'd like to do that with me. The only thing I'd say, this, and Ryan Wood pointed this out on Twitter. This is when the Packers drafted Rashawn Gary. It was a projection pick. It was someone who was all about the relative athletic score, the RAS, where it's a young guy who's only 21 years old, who's not really played a lot of football yet, but tests off the charts with his athletic skills. Rashawn Gary was drafted the same year that they signed – was the same year they signed the Smith brothers, right? I think that was the same year, the same offseason.
Yeah.
I think they had – right, because they had just signed the Smith brothers in March, and then they drafted Rashawn Gary in April. The only twist here is like where Van Ness could play as a rookie that Rashawn Gary didn't is because when is Rashawn Gary going to come back? He tore his ACL in week.
I don't know.
So there's options, but by the way, you guys all just like lost your feet, so it was probably my fault. But anyway,
we all lost our feeds. Yeah. It was all 3 of us.
Blame it on us.
It was lost our feeds.
Was it all of our fault?
Or Razor, the simplest answer is the real one.
Okay, fair enough. You're right. I think
lost your feeds.
Well, I didn't on my version. I didn't see my face. Anyway, they want to give Jordan Love as many opportunities to succeed in his first year as a starter as they can. They have a ton of picks coming up. Would it be surprising at all if they had another Christian Watson type thing where they move up to the way front of the second round to the way into the first round? Not at all. As I mentioned on our segment earlier this week, like you could package, like if they wanted to give up both of their second round picks, they could be picking right now at 19. You have enough draft value on the charts to move up to 17, 18, 19. Clearly that's not what's happening. So you don't even have to give up as much as you could give up. So, anything is in play at this point. I think it probably just depends how much they like either Smith and Jigba or Dalton Kincaid, but they're going to add offense. Like, they're going to. I mean, I don't want to say Brian Gutekunst promised that they would, but it's his charge as GM to give Jordan Love as much as he can to work with, and in typical fashion went defense. All right, Roger Goodell, what do you got for us at 19?
Here we go.
I'm on mute, so I'm waiting for the
Yeah, I could start playing these, but I'm barely paying it. I'm not even watching this.
So, I mean, another, defensive tackle, Kalijah Cansey, Pittsburgh. Man.
So Will Levis, nobody wants him.
Well, okay, here's what I heard earlier tonight. The Seahawks, who are picking now at 20,
they got to take him.
They told Geno Smith, don't be surprised when we take a quarterback early. So they've already told their incumbent, who's like, 32, 33 years old, Geno Smith is. They told him not to be surprised. I'm sure they didn't expect Levis to be there at 20. I saw there was something at the bottom of the screen that had the ESPN analytics that said there was a 1.8% chance that Levis would have been available at 19, which means there's even a lesser chance he was going to be there at 20 for the Seahawks. So if you're playing the quarterback watch game, the Will Levis watch game, it's certainly not the Chargers at 21. It's certainly not the Ravens at 22 who just re-signed Lamar Jackson. So it's either the Seahawks at 20 or sometime way later in the first round, unless someone's going to trade up. I mean, don't you think the Vikings make a ton of sense for Levis or for Hendon Hooker? Like if you want to stick in the division here, I mean, the Vikings, Kirk Cousins has 1 year left. This is your chance to go get Levis or Hooker, isn't it?
My thought, and on CBS that I've kept saying with Seattle, was that they need to take a quarterback high, because what they're doing is they profited. They profited off of the Russell Wilson trade. Yeah. And if you're going to sign Geno Smith, you think that you're going to be a contender for the next few years. So this is your opportunity to take a quarterback and develop him. I thought Richardson would have been a great spot for that. But here they are now. They already got their guy. And now here they are at 20.
Yeah.
With Levis falling to them. I think that would be a good move for them.
I do too. It almost seems too obvious.
I'm going to bring in, I got Toby. Were you going to say something, Toby?
Is that the correct way to do it when you're drafting a quarterback in the first round and you have one, is to let the guy know?
You mean, the Aaron Rodgers special?
Yeah.
I mean, Geno has to know he's not a franchise quarterback, right?
No, he got a contract. He's the next 2 year, 3 year guy.
Yeah.
Hot Take Jake, who wants to be identified tonight as Fat Take Jake. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up, buddy?
I'm pulling a Winkler. Can you tell I've got my phone between the dash?
That's where he put it. I'm going to be driving to Madison on Saturday. I'll be watching. I'm up to Iron Fist now. I'm watching every MCU combined.
That is the play, by the way. That is the play.
That is the play.
Are you driving right now?
No, I actually just set this. I'm parked. I set it up for like.
Why are you Fat Take Jake?
Because here's the deal. I was just going to tell you, number one, there's two things you need to quit: drinking and Marvel. But since I don't drink and I'm depressed, I eat when I'm depressed. So I met a couple friends at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I ate 20 boneless wings. Then I ordered a bacon cheese curd burger.
Oh. So you had 20 chicken nuggets, and then you ordered a bacon cheese curd burger.
Chicken nuggets, yep. And then they were like, hey, by the way, if you get a burger, you can get 6 boneless wings for $1.
That's their
so
new deal. They got burgers.
Like, fuck yeah, let's fucking go.
Oh,
God. I'm rolling right now, baby. I'm like food.
Yeah, but you're like
now.
a macho gym man.
I burn a lot of calories, so sometimes it's okay to let loose a little bit. So I'm fine with it.
I did not eat until 5 today.
Oh my God!
Now,
what?
I also didn't get out of bed until 12.
Say, what time did you sleep till?
Yeah, I was
Doesn't
pretty.
count.
Today after the Bucks lost, I don't like go back and rewatch or listen to my shows because I did the show. I know what I said.
You don't want to listen to that one.
But today was the first time I ever went back and listened to it.
Dude, I know you were up at like 7:30 this morning because weren't you?
I got
tweeting?
up, took my kid to school, went back
Okay.
home.
So, I wonder, is it technically intermittent fasting if you're so hungover that you don't wake up until 5?
I wish, but I had a Mountain Dew in there, and that fucks it all up.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Okay. Well, hey, this is crazy about Will Levis. I mean, I guess it's not because every year there's a guy that falls, but if he
Whoa,
doesn't,
I thought I saw you earlier say, I'm going to be happy with the pick no matter what, because whatever it is, it'll be a good one because Goody's drafting.
well, yeah, I'm going to get to that in a minute, but I'm talking about like with the current storyline here, which is Will Levis falling. And if Seattle doesn't take him here, I don't know where he lands. Like, does he fall out of the first round completely? Maybe.
If Levis doesn't go here, maybe Minnesota, but Minnesota's kind of they've been kind of sweet on Hendon Hooker.
I'm thinking there's got to be some, character or medical red flags here because I think he's got the physical traits you look for in a modern quarterback.
No, I don't know if you guys saw this. There is a massive red flag on Will Levis. This just came out. He actually sucks. Paul knew right away.
There it is.
Hey-o.
If you need
no.
Reddit to increase your draft stock, yeah, you probably are not great.
So I'll admit I got caught up in the hype of like, yes, Jackson Smith Jigma, it's going to happen. But then when you really think about it, like it's tough to invest a 13th overall pick in a slot only guy, and Green Bay it's not what they do. So they took the best edge that was available. I love Van Ness. I think he's got some TJ Watt kind of vibes to me where he's kind of a late bloomer and he's didn't get all the playing time, but he was super productive when he played. And then from a physical profile standpoint, he really reminds me of Zadarius Smith, where he's this big, tall, lanky dude that you can put in the middle. You can put him on the edge. You can use him as a bull rusher. Like, hopefully he develops that game to where you can just kind of use him as your pass rushing chess piece. So I like the pick a lot.
Wait a minute, though. You want Bart to be excited about a guy that you just comped to TJ Watt?
Does Bart not like TJ Watt?
Bart is anti the entire Watt family. Where have you been?
That's right.
Not Derek.
I was going to say, I vaguely remember him saying Derek.
JJ Watt the only thing with JJ Watt, he's an elite football player, and I would have loved to have him. He's just the corniest motherfucker on this earth. TJ Watt is legitimately a dirty player.
Also,
he tries to hurt people.
Let's be honest, though. The reason you don't like TJ Watt is because he blew you off for an interview.
He didn't blow me off. What happened was there were four Badgers at the desk. He wouldn't go out until his designated 1:30 to 2:30 time because he was TJ Watt sitting with his parents in the back room. He didn't. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't. I didn't even get the chance to like ask for him. It's just I noticed like, oh, this guy's not going to come out. Okay, I get it. I already know. Okay, so JSN hasn't been drafted yet. Andy Herman tweeting, Packers should be calling up pick 42 plus pick 45 for pick 20.
That's what I'm saying. That's actually an overpay based on the draft charts. 42 and 45 for 20 is an overpay. So
I don't think I'd do it.
Breaking TJ Watt news.
What?
Tim Shea, who is up and in bed, and I said, come on. He said, I'm sleeping. And then 10 minutes later says, TJ Watt is coming into 58 next week.
Whoa.
He's already big timing you. Look at this.
Is TJ Watt going to do the 4 a.m. shift with him?
Yeah. Is he coming to send people to arson fires on the northwest side?
So, I mean, the chances that Tim Shea's shift overlaps with when TJ Watt is in the studio is extremely unlikely.
So who win 20?
I don't know yet.
Yeah,
I'm not cheating on Twitter. I don't like.
I'm watching you guys. I'm not even watching the draft.
All right. This year's draft is like baseball before the pitch clock. Like, just fucking get on with it.
Totally.
Well, every year people go, they need it all off season and they have 15 minutes to take number one. The NFL's not going to let the Panthers run up to the fucking podium. You stupid morons.
Okay.
Yeah,
so now
but
they've got this,
Go ahead.
Hey, do we have the pick or not?
They have six. They have six kids on stage who are
again.
Yeah.
Like, who is this for? What
I saw who it was on Twitter.
Was it JSN?
Tell us, Toby.
It was JSN.
God damn.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Why are you
Wow.
guys upset? You didn't really think he was going to make it to Green Bay, right?
No, but
They don't need
Seattle.
him.
Seattle. Wow. 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 Holy, are they going to be good?
Yeah.
Gino's looking good.
Do I need to rethink? Let me look at the situations here. What do we got with?
Well, okay, the other thing is Jackson Smith and Jigba's gone, but now is a time where you could get a steal on Dalton Kincaid as well if you wanted to come back into the
They've
first
got
round and get a tight
Lockett
end.
and Metcalf for the next
would totally
3
trade
years.
up.
So you're
How
going to
old-
go Lockett? Wow. Dude.
How old is Tyler Lockett? 30, 31?
But he's locked up for 3 years. He's 30.
Yeah.
And Metcalf was drafted not too long ago. So you've got Lockett, Metcalf, Kenneth Walker, and they found something in Geno.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying that it's maybe I am. Maybe I am saying because it's JSN that they're getting like Seattle all of a sudden in that NFC West where the Niners essentially don't want to play with a quarterback. They don't want one. Purdy should be not Purdy. Trey Lance should be a Viking and Kirk Cousins. If Kirk Cousins is on the Niners, they win the Super Bowl. Everybody knows it.
Well, by the way, that's the other thing that's interesting is not only is Will Levis still available, but so is Trey Lance. I wonder how high of a pick Trey Lance is even worth right now.
By the way,
20s?
I wanted to say, since we were talking about Seattle quarterback Geno Smith, can anybody guess what jersey I'm wearing? Number 12 for Wisconsin.
Bollinger?
No, it's draft day. Come on, think about it.
Bo Callahan.
Bo Callahan?
Man, yeah, baby. I always wear it on draft day. It's tradition.
I have
Screwed,
always
man.
Is that movie good or not?
It's so bad, it's good.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
It's really bad, but it's charmingly bad. So here's I'll do a quick review of Draft Day. Draft Day is a movie that they decided we're not going to make it for NFL nerds. We're going to try to appeal to a broader audience. So we're going to explain everything about football to people that don't know what
Draft
football
Day is the
and what
ABC draft coverage of movies.
Yeah. Like literally there's a scene where, Kevin Costner plays the GM of the Browns and like someone calls him up and it's just like, hey, did you hear that your star wide receiver, Braylon Edwards, just said this? Or like nobody speaks like that as human beings, but like it's just a movie full of like expository dialogue. It's hilariously bad, but like again, the charm is there. And you got Black Panther in it, so it's got that going for it. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Chadwick.
Vontae Mack.
Yeah, I think the MCU takes a huge different turn if he's still alive.
Oh, for sure. I think you could build the MCU around.
Why'd you tell me to
Chadwick
quit the
Boseman.
MCU?
Because it sucks, Bart. It's after Endgame. There's no reason for any of this other than money.
Can I just, Bart, that's the correct take he just gave you.
Like, here's the thing with Marvel. I will give Marvel all the credit in the world for doing something unprecedented. They told a story over the course of almost 20 years and had a satisfying ending.
Yep.
And that is amazing.
Yep.
And then they were like, but we're making so much money. How do we just stop? And
Because people want to continue the story.
But the story is over.
It's over.
The Star Wars story was over 40 fucking years ago.
No, it wasn't. They told you. They literally hadn't even done episodes 1, 2, and 3 yet.
How
Star
else was I
Wars
going to get
sucks too,
fucking
though.
Jar Jar if they didn't go back and redo it?
People are like, The Mandalorian and Andor are so good. Well, I'm hearing Guardians 3 is so good.
Hey, I'm okay with Guardians 3. I think, like, I don't know if HTJ or FTJ tonight agrees or not, but I think you can still, like, finish the Guardians of the Galaxy story. But when you're still going after all of these, what phase 5, Bart, whatever they're on, like,
It's dead on. Guardians is good, but here's what Guardians has going for it that I think a lot of people don't realize. Guardians is kind of like it doesn't have the hardcore fan base like a Captain America, like an Iron Man. So it doesn't have all these things that they have to hit and all these things that they're expected on. So you can kind of build from scratch whatever kind of story you want and do whatever you want with these characters because there isn't this huge pressure to like live up to the characters from the comic book. So Guardians feels almost like different than the rest of Marvel to me. And I
want to say about this, and then we desperately, woefully need to get off of this, is that part of what I'm doing with this is watching some of these shows I've never seen before, like the Netflix one. And I'm so happy to be in that world now. I think Daredevil is amazing. Jessica Jones could have like 90% less sex, but is very good. Luke Cage, I thought, was terrific. And anyways, who got drafted since we were last?
Nobody.
Yeah, shocker, no one.
Oh, wait. Will Levis is celebrating. Wait, what?
To who?
Well, the Chargers pick is in. That can't possibly be right.
Well, they don't have a backup.
They're going to draft a backup in the first round?
No.
So then they're like preparing to move on from Herbert?
No, I mean, shut up. Like
Levis to the Chargers would be an all-time. It'd be worse than Love to the Packers.
100%. They already gave Van Ness his number.
It would be way
What's his number?
way worse.
90.
Darius Holland?
Vonnie Holiday?
Wasn't that Jeremy?
Jake says Luke Van Ness's girlfriend is Cole Kmet's sister. Yeah, all these guys know each other.
I hope they're not.
Yeah, isn't it AJ Hawks married to Brady Quinn's sister or something like that?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. And my wife is married to someone whose brother has 4 NBA rings.
That's true.
By the way, I have a friend who like every year.
Oh, Raji wore 90. Jesus, yeah.
That's right. Every year he does this where he gets drunk during the draft and then the Packers don't take who they want. And then he's just like over the top with, this is the worst pick they've ever made. I can't believe it. I don't see this. This is horrible.
Oh,
your friend Ryan Horvath?
Hold on. I don't know why
he doesn't have friends.
Hey, I don't know why Will Levis was celebrating, but it was not to be picked by the Chargers. Quentin Johnston, wide receiver, TCU to the Chargers.
That's a good pick.
Yep,
I want to
sense.
give Toby made the call. Packers should trade up for Dalton Kincaid. That I could get down with.
Yep, I would too.
So are the Vikings on the clock?
Baltimore and then Minnesota and then Jacksonville.
Any thoughts on Lamar?
Good for him getting the bag.
He was always going to get the bag.
Yeah.
It
would have been stupid to get rid of him.
Lamar's really interesting to me. Like Baltimore took a lot of heat for the way that they treated Lamar, and I think, they might have been kind of forced into taking a stand.
At the end of the day, it worked out for everyone.
Yeah, but the problem though is like that the Ravens weren't negotiating with Lamar Jackson's agent because he doesn't have an agent.
And that was the point I was going to make is that like,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
How do you negotiate with a player? Like, there's no way that Lamar could possibly understand all the things that go into a contract and all the stipulations. And, that seemed like it would be really difficult for me,
Well,
I don't know anything about this stuff.
This is like Corbin Burns showing up to his arbitration and hearing the Brewers say like some unflattering things. It's like, well, hey, Lamar, like we like you, but we also don't think you should be the highest paid player ever. And then Lamar's like, wait, what? Why not? I was an MVP at age 23, et cetera, et cetera. So it's easier if you're saying that to his agent and not to Lamar.
They can't tell Lamar the truth, which is, look, like we can't give you the guaranteed money because like all of us owners are saying we're just not going to do that, which is the truth. Like the whole collusion thing, that 100% happened. Like, right, one idiot decided to give Deshaun Watson all this money. We can't start doing this. So like now we take a stand.
That one idiot is now our idiot.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, what I was saying this afternoon,
season, baby.
What I was saying this afternoon is like, how about Jimmy Haslam, who is so tired of running things badly? He's just like, fuck it, I'll buy a title.
I think the one thing that comforts me in the Bucks losing is that Jimmy Haslam's had a terrible run so far as owner of the Bucks.
You deserve it.
Yeah, you deserve it. Are you a wrestling guy?
Oh, Jake loves wrestling.
Oh, nice.
The Mania post game.
Oh, so you
Winkler there.
Oh, so you
Hey,
like
you hosted the post game with me on Mania.
Oh, so you like shitty wrestling. Okay, I got it.
I watch any type of wrestling. Like, you know,
I'm just kidding.
I know. There's a video called Wrestling.
Hey, there's only
Isn't
one
Wrestling.
draft I'm watching Friday night. That's WWE.
Yeah. But there's a line at the end of this video from it's called Wrestling Isn't Wrestling, where the guy says a lot of wrestling is garbage, but when it's good, it's fucking great, and that's why I'm. Still
I
a
said
fan.
that.
No, that wasn't it. Come on, Bart. Don't.
I made up that phrase.
That's right.
Wrestling's amazing, but
It is.
every time the problem with wrestling is, and this has been way less. This era is gone. There was an era of WWE where every Monday Night Raw there had to be like one segment where people were dancing in the ring.
That
And
was
my
when
wife
there
would
was
always come in the
literally-
room when I was watching that segment.
That's when Vince was just like, "There's no other
Hold on,
competition.
hold
I'm
on.
gonna do whatever I want."
Do I hear you guys?
Yeah.
I
All
hear
right, I
you,
tried to
buddy.
pull up the Celtics game on my
Hey, we're not
Yeah,
spoiling
basketball.
We're not
No,
spoiling plans.
focus. No
You
basketball.
don't want any spoil on basketball?
No, I don't want no.
I'm not watching the playoffs, especially if Golden State wins.
Paul,
will
you're
not
still gonna watch
another
that
playoff
game later?
Hell yes, I am.
No, I gotta say it.
No, you don't. Well, okay, can you hold on? Hold on.
No, I'm not. It's not over yet.
Well, I don't want to. I want to. Just quiet.
All right,
Basketball.
Brian says Evan is so done with the Marvel and wrestling talk.
I mean,
All
I'm
right.
still here.
Yeah.
Evans, where do you want to?
Well,
steer?
we wouldn't be talking about this if these picks didn't take 30 fucking minutes.
Right.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Like Doug Davis pitching for the Brewers back in the day.
Yeah, you said the pitch clock thing earlier. You're right. How come there were 4 innings the other day in one game that ended in 53 minutes? Have there been 4 picks in that amount of time
Hey,
all night?
did you see that Brent Suter had a 20-second 3-pitch strikeout for the Rockies the other day?
Really?
This isn't. I'm sorry. This isn't baseball. It ain't baseball. I'm
It took
sorry.
20. It took 20 seconds.
Hey, I'll take baseball over basketball right now. Like seriously, if Golden State beats Sacramento, I will not watch another minute of playoff basketball. I'm done with it.
I was wearing a Warriors sweatshirt today, and
Like
who did
there's
I
no one
see?
left. There's no one left to root for. There's no like.
No, they
fun
got the
team.
Milwaukee boys.
did I
Kevon
see?
Looney, Jordan Poole, Patrick Baldwin Jr.
Someone was like, "Oh, you still got the Warriors," and I go, "They won 4 fucking of these things. I don't care. I mean, I need to. I don't care. They won 4. I'm fine.
We got one.
We got one.
We get to hear Ian Rappaport talk about the Lamar deal while the Ravens pick has been in for
17 minutes. By the way, Bart, did you hear that? I believe it was a
Oh,
fart.
by
in
the way,
wind.
I got something to say. If you're still here, how come every time? Like, does Eric Stone Street need to act anymore, or is he just professional Chiefs fan? Rob Riggle as well.
I mean, Brian Baumgartner is a professional
Yeah.
Packers fan now.
Kevin Malone.
Fuck that sucks.
We could
What are you
do
talking
worse.
about?
We could do far worse.
Bart, are you not a fan of The Office?
I'm a huge fan, but here's the problem I have with The Office. I watched it week to week live. All you idiots watched it on Netflix.
Hey,
Oh,
fuck!
I
Oh,
watched it
whoa!
live.
Check
Excuse
yourself
you.
before you wreck yourself, okay?
You might be talking to the youthful ones in this room right now, but not I, and it sounds like not Jake either.
I watched it live.
How
That
did
was
you do that? You
appointment
were
television.
Heffelfinger. I'm not trying to be whatever. You would have been like 7 years old, bro.
That's
I
not
watched
true.
Friends and Seinfeld when I was like 10.
The
I was
Office.
first
The
allowed
Office
to
started
watch
in like.
it
The
in
Office started in like
Singapore.
2006. How old were you in 2006?
Hey, worst cameo in history: Donald Trump in Home Alone 2, Elon Musk in Iron Man 2, or Aaron Rodgers in The Office.
Rogers in The Office was historically bad, so that's
Yeah.
Okay.
But like he actually had.
Chris
like,
at Happy Place Hem says, I used to tape The Office on my VCR.
I
taped the
100%
Arrested Development Friday night. They aired their last 4 episodes on a Friday night
Yep.
Mhm.
on on Fox. I taped that on my VCR. Watched it when I got home from the bar.
That might
Bart
be
and
my
Paul,
favorite comedy of all time.
So good. Parks and Rec, Arrested Development.
For
No, hold
Bart
on. There's finally a pick. The Baltimore.
The 2023 draft. The Baltimore Ravens select Zay Flowers, wide receiver, Boston College.
If you want another receiver, Zay Flowers is gone. And I have an update on the NBA game. It looks like it's over. I won't tell you who won, but it looks like it's over.
I wanted to ask though, Paul and Bart, and I don't know how old Toby is, but did you guys ever watch the Blurry channel?
Yes, 76.
Waiting to see if your mom would pop in the door, like one hand on the door. All right.
Yeah, and
These young guys, they have no idea what we're talking about. But
the zig was the same every time.
For what it's worth, me and Bart are the same age.
Okay.
I didn't get cable until that channel didn't exist anymore.
Man, you missed out.
Yeah.
I also have the internet, so.
No,
true.
but no, there's something to be. Hey, you know, a
It was
13-year-old
special.
these days, Evan, a 13-year-old could have anything he's ever dreamed of.
I
As
know.
a 13-year-old, I was using my imagination, and there's no
It's
greater
wasted on
stimulant.
today's generation.
There's no greater stimulant than that.
You had to go into like the bottom of your dad's dresser drawers looking for treasure, and then like you put on the Blurry channel, waiting for that 4-second like
Yeah.
you know moment
There's
of
a
truth.
stark cutoff of age. Those who have used a National Geographic and those who have not.
Oh yeah. My stepmom was a school teacher. She had a subscription to National Geographic. I knew exactly what ones I had to look through. Like they were red marked, man, and then they were white marked.
Oh,
Get the
come on.
fuck out of here.
Sorry.
All right, enough.
All right.
Let's go back to okay, football coverage. So the Ravens draft a wide receiver.
Pops McGee says Sears catalog.
There you go. Yeah, them old lady bras.
Well, are you surprised that Zay Flowers went before Jordan Addison?
Hey, ain't nobody talking about Zay Flowers anymore. Are you surprised? We're talking about beating off to magazines. You're asking if Zay Flowers went ahead of.
And
Like-
this is why Toby was a good producer for you. He kept you on track.
Yeah.
Listen, do you think any of the shows on the game are going to be talking about that tomorrow?
It's true.
Well, actually, maybe.
Yeah, actually,
You know what I'm
They actually-
loving?
Yeah,
I'm loving all this feedback I'm getting today about how people are like, I fucking hated you on The Fan. I like your pod. That really means a lot to me. I'm really happy about that.
Well, yeah, you kind of get to be Bart unhinged, but like in a really fun way.
I mean, to be
Yeah,
honest,
I don't have to worry about getting phone calls just if I say like, oh yeah, the USFL, didn't Donald Trump have a team? Ring, ring, ring. Is that lib talking Trump again?
By the way, on that subject, Bart,
Oh boy.
I think it's not lib talk. It's the fan talk. I think your show really took off when Freeman left because he was dragging you down, buddy. You got to let that one go. That's one I don't understand.
Okay.
I don't think he can
I'm
comment on that.
not the only one that thinks that. Like, there's certain things that are very Chuck Freeman that are also big unit. Like, I don't know. I just wanted to get that out into the Winkler.
Well, I
verse
like
that-
Chuck. I would love to do a show with Chuck again.
Well, I mean, you may like him, but like, I mean, the show, I just,
So let's have some lib talk. How about
No,
What a
let's
joke.
answer Toby's
Winker.
question.
Toby. So Zay Flowers and versus who was the other guy?
Jordan
Jordan
Addison.
Addison.
So I know that Zay Flowers is like 5'8". What's Addison?
He's like 6 foot. He reminds me a lot of Devontae Smith. I mean, he won the Bletnikoff with Kenny Pickett. Then he went to USC and had a little bit of a down year with Caleb Williams. But I mean, he won the Bletnikoff award 2 years ago, and he's the third wide receiver, and he still hasn't been taken. I mean,
Yeah.
he might be the third wide receiver. Well, no, there's already been 3. He's the fourth now because Quentin Johnston went too. So I like.
Only 3 receivers have gone so far, right?
Yeah, so he'll be the fourth receiver
Okay.
if he goes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota takes him to try to fill in for Thielen leaving.
Yep.
I think
Thielen-
the problem
Thielen
with
leaving.
with Addison is that besides the fact that he's on the small side, he also just is not like a great athlete. So I think he's going to probably go in like middle of the second round, which is, I feel like right on par, because I think look at a guy like Randall Cobb. He was small and slow, but really, really productive. I think that's maybe the type of role that he's going to have in the league.
Wait. Did you say Cobb was slow?
Yes.
Maybe older Cobb. I get that, like,
Yeah, old Cobb. I mean, he was. Cobb may not have been like end to end.
No, for a guy
So-
his size, he was not fast.
well,
Right.
the
He
thing
was more. If I just could say, he was a quick quick cut.
Yeah, slot guy.
Like-
With Addison, the thing about Addison, then I get where you're saying, but like he just looks to me like a guy that's going to give you 1,000 yards every year, and he can be your number
could
two.
be.
He's never going to be that standout number one like a Garrett Wilson in last year's draft, but he can be a solid number two if you have a decent receiver. Like if you put him across from Justin Jefferson, he's giving you 1,000 yards every year, just because he's going to get
these guys that don't have the great physical traits, sometimes that gets too much is put into that, and you get a guy like Cooper Kupp that just kind of drops to your lap, like
Yeah.
again, not the biggest physical presence, or the
But
numbers
that's
in the
different.
athletic doesn't jump off.
But that's different to me as well, because Kupp came out of Eastern Washington. This guy won the Biletnikoff Award with the first quarterback off the board last year, and then he played with the probably first quarterback off the board next year, and like he was really good. I don't know. Like I had him ahead of everyone except for Jackson Smith and Jigba.
That's actually, I'm glad you bring that up, because I have a theory about that too. A lot of guys that start their careers, they're really, really good at a young age. They get 3 years into their college career, and then they come out into the draft, or maybe they stay for 4. And what I think happens is they have too much tape out there. And I think scouts will start to, well, we've seen this guy for so long, and they'll start to focus on the negatives too much, and rather than look at all this great film that he has, and but also look at because there is 4 years of film there, maybe there's more potential red flags to see. So I do think there may be a science to this, but also like there can be some overanalyzation that goes on. It happens a lot with quarterbacks that start as freshmen too.
Yeah, it happened with Trevor Lawrence.
Deshaun Watson is another one.
So by the way, 40 seconds to go to the Vikings pick.
Ooh, I'll get that up.
And
So that means they'll pick 30 minutes from now.
yeah, well, it says the pick is in, but the channel I'm watching. Oh, never mind. I thought I was about to go to commercial. It did not. But let's just say this. I was looking at the next 5-6 picks that are up. If Will Levis does not go to the Vikings, which honestly, if you were him, like that's a great spot. Sit behind Cousins for a year, take over in 2024. I don't know. I don't really know why the Vikings wouldn't think that unless they just don't like him as a quarterback. It seems to make a lot of sense.
It makes so much sense for them to take a quarterback.
And it's really one of those situations where you didn't even have to trade up to find Cousins' future replacement. He just fell to you, very Rodgers-esque. But if it's not here, okay, the Jaguars aren't taking him. The Bengals, I just lost my list. But like as you might expect, the Cowboys, as you might expect, any of these teams picking late in the first round do not.
Giants, Bills, Bengals,
do not need a quarterback.
Saints.
Yeah, but they just signed him to.
Carr.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to me, because as blasted as I was last night, and everybody knew it, I still somehow downloaded the show, edited it, put it on stream or on Blue Wire, inserted ads into it.
Do you remember doing it?
I barely remember doing the show.
How are the Paw Patrol pups doing 24 hours later?
I took a picture when they were up 14 where Ryder was facing one way, and the pups were all looking at their new leader, and it was the toy my son has of Giannis. And I never got to tweet that picture.
No. Goodell's at the podium. Turn it on.
You might see it before it plays, but here we go.
With the 23rd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Jordan Addison, wide receiver, USC.
And they lost Thielen.
Yeah.
I like that pick a lot for them.
See, this is why Toby. This is where you're clutch, right? Let's get that Jordan Addison discussion going, almost like you knew it was coming.
I've got Evan here. I've got Paul Emick. I've got Toby. I've got Fat Take Jake tonight. Landmark is joining us. I said I wasn't going to go crazy box, but, we're an hour and a half in.
Let's make it 6. It's fine. Hello, everyone.
We're going 6 wide here on the game, the fan, the zone. How about Tony Smith shitting on me today? I'm still not over that.
Wait, what?
I was ripping on Marquette, and then
Fuck
I
Tony
deleted
Smith.
all those tweets. I deleted all those tweets.
Lazy,
I was tired of
fucking-
Barstool Marquette coming after me. And he goes, why should we listen to this clown? Like, I've had Tony Smith on the show multiple times, and he did lives with us.
There's no show worse than him and Homer.
Oh, I shit on Homer last night, too, because he bought that blue check. I didn't delete those, though.
And the sad thing is you actually really like Homer.
I do like Homer. I met Homer. I like him. But he bought a blue check. All these people are like, I bought the blue check for exposure. Then I see like Bukowski's Twitter, and he's got a blue check. So then all the 9 responses after him are blue check spam accounts.
Hey, the Giants are on the clock. They traded with the Jacksonville Jaguars for the 24th pick.
And the Giants had 25.
Oh, yeah, they just only moved up. Well,
who's making noise?
They're still showing the Giants on the clock at 25. I don't know if that's going to change. So it's
that could be.
It's possible that they did Jacksonville did like a second round, third round pick thing.
Okay, Landmark, what's up with you?
I just wanted to come say hi, see how things are going and check in. I'm just glad the Packers didn't draft the tight end. That's really the whole thing. I didn't want them to go tight end early because there's enough tight ends in this class that they could easily get somebody just as good in the second round, third round. So, they've put another pick into defense. I didn't see what y'all had to say about it. I'm sure I'll hear about it on the podcast tomorrow. But yeah, that's what I got so far.
So hey, just to say this, I was less. It has nothing to do with Lucas Van Ness, but yeah, I was.
Wait, I love that we can just see Jake's wheel turning.
The only thing I'd say is I was just hoping they would do offense just because it's more interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
So for very selfish reasons. But Lucas Van Ness would not still be on the board at 24.
Correct.
No, but where would he have gone,
Dalton Kincaid still is, right? So if the goal for the Packers was to say, hey, well, let's take Van Ness. He's not going to last another couple picks. We can still get Mayer, or we can get, is it Mayer or Meyer?
Mayer.
Mayer. That's what I thought. We can still
His
get
body
Mayer
is a wonderland.
You can still get Mayer or Kincaid, maybe in the late first round, and we'll trade up. So the strategy has played out correctly so far, where all the tight ends are still on the board, and Van Ness would not have lasted another couple picks. So yeah, you might still get that tight end Landmark, but not at 13.
Yeah, and that's fine because they've got those 2 guys. There's Washington out there as well. There's a couple other guys who can go in that second, third round range who would all be just fine because the hit rate on tight ends is not great anyway. So I'd rather them at least invest that capital in an area that has a better rate of folks hitting.
I just want to reiterate that I am so thankful the draft is happening tonight so quickly after the Bucks' demise. It is a blessing for all of us. I'm trying to craft a tweet here where I'm retweeting the stream. And I said, thoughts so far. Packers pick the same guy they always do, which isn't necessarily good or bad. The Seahawks are a problem. Any other overarching thoughts I have on this draft?
Will Levis is still eating bananas with the peel on in the green room.
That's a disappointment for him, but I think he stinks. So
I was going to ask you, Bart, I was going to say, you're not going to eat the chair. You're not going to eat the bobblehead, but will you, the next time you say something, will you agree?
Well, I don't have to
eat
eat that bobblehead.
No,
whatever happened didn't happen.
No, I'm not saying you have to. I'm not asking you, but what I'm asking you is,
saying I'm going to eat shit.
But
Right,
will
I was
you
just
eat a
gonna say,
banana
Bart,
with the
you gotta
peel
quit
on
eating
it?
things.
He wants to know if you will eat a banana with the peel on it.
Like Will Levis.
He does that?
You didn't know that?
I eat peanuts with the shell on them. Everyone looks at me like I'm crazy.
That's not crazy at all. That's the right way to eat a peanut.
No.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You eat the whole thing, Toby.
No.
Yeah.
By the way, Paul brought up a good point when he said Van Ness is a guy that wouldn't be available in the 20s. This reminded me of my annoying buddy that gets drunk and then hates the draft. This is what he pulled tonight. This is a classic. Oh, they could have traded back and gotten him in the 20s. He would have been available. I hate
you
when
never
people
know.
are like, this guy would have been available in the 3rd. How the hell would you know?
Can I make
It
a
takes
prediction?
one GM.
I'm going to predict that the Giants are going to go Joey Porter Jr. here.
Is that a
They
prediction
traded
or,
with Jacksonville up one spot.
yeah? Is that a prediction or a guarantee, Toby?
Or a spoiler.
Mike says I should run a half
spoiler.
marathon.
Where
Where does this come from?
I'll go with prediction. They have Wink Martindale as their defensive coordinator. They like to play aggressive, and they get a press man corner who's still on the board.
Bart,
Why out of nowhere did this guy just comment that I should run a half marathon?
Well, I mean, you are marathoning the Marvel movies. That's kind of
like, can I get a walk around the block first?
No, Bart, come do CrossFit.
No, never.
Bart,
What
when's
do
the
you mean
last
never?
Bart, when's the last time you've done 10,000 steps in a day? No response.
Maybe.
How many steps is it to the refrigerator? I'm sorry.
I've been around 5 lately.
5,000?
Those days. Oh, instead of eating a chair. Oh, okay. I have done a half triathlon before.
A half triathlon?
How the heck?
Yeah.
How can you do a half triathlon?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Because you
It's a
do
0.75
half of
event.
every. You do a swim. So I did the swim and I ran into a buoy, and then I did the bike, and my bike. This was in lacrosse. My bike pedal fell off, and I'm like knocking on farmers' doors asking if anyone knows how to replace it.
Oh my god!
And then the bike place, just as I'm going to be like, can you guys give me a ride back? I quit. The bike van drove, and then I ran, and I took second last place. I beat an 87-year-old. Here's the New York Giants pick. It looks like first all the children of the world are going to hold hands and sing. Steve Martin drink.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have traded the 24th pick to the New York Giants. With the 24th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Deontay Banks, defensive
Corner.
back.
Yeah. He has a little more versatility. I thought Washington might take him. He has a little more versatility. He can play a little bit more in different schemes as opposed to being just a press man corner like Joey Porter Jr. So
He's crying. Act like you've been there before.
My favorite part of the draft.
I'm just kidding.
I was really hoping like that you were going to clarify because some people might not know when you're kidding.
Well, people that say that after people score touchdowns, you made the NFL, and you scored a touchdown in the NFL. I don't care if it's your 30th. That's insane.
Hey, you know what's really fun about the draft is every year there's that one inappropriate draft graphic for like a profile where like one year it was like played 4 years at so-and-so, was All-American, and then the final one was like his mother was addicted to cocaine for 12 years. It's like, what are we doing?
isn't that
Are they still doing that on ABC?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I think it was the ESPN graphic.
There was
and
one
of
year
them-
it got real bad.
It's usually ABC because they're like, hey, did you have something tragic happen in your life? No, then we won't talk about
Oh,
it.
they lap it up there.
Wait, so what was it this year?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I do
Oh.
remember one year it was like his father died when he was 8 years old in a car accident. Like,
Yeah.
was this in
They
his
went
scouting
further.
report?
They were like at 8 years old, Timothy watched his father get shot in cold blood, tried a tourniquet on his leg, and then had the blood on his scarf and wore that scarf today to the graduation.
I've got content. Everybody in the room right now, what would your inappropriate like draft fact be on your graphic? Go.
Mine would be the prop comedy I did the other night where I was at that shooting at a hotel.
Oh, that's right. That was an interesting segment. I never knew that part.
Yeah.
Evans
would be he was working part-time for a while for a morning show host who Just kidding. No, I know what Evans is. Evans is he would be sitting there as Bill would ask everyone around him who wants a cousin sub, and then not even look Evan in the eye for a suggestion.
He didn't know my name until 8 months after I was getting paid to work for his show.
Yeah. A good buddy. He would like open the door to ask me if I wanted a sub. Evan's sitting in between us. Working on a show. I'm only sticking around because I hear at 10 o'clock Bill say, it might be a cousin's day. I'm sticking around hoping for a free lunch.
As long as you get the Radio Joe cheese curds.
Yeah. My old fourth grade teacher, Greg Freese. I like Van Ness more than I did Rashawn Gary, but Gary turned out to be a stud, shows what I know.
Yep, that's what we always have to remember too, is that no matter how much you love or hate the pick, NFL GMs are smarter than you, so shut the fuck up and let it play out. That's just,
I know that my fourth grade teacher had a big impact on my life. I truly do, but I don't like specifically remember a lot of the things he taught me. The one thing I do remember is he taught me how to spell the word suicide.
Hey, there's your fact.
Because I wrote a story where I said a guy committed suicide or something, but I wrote sewer side.
Mm-hmm.
So then
him and his like buddy who is an assistant teacher who also happened to be named Bart. No lie, guys. Do you want to hear Lucas Van Ness cuts?
No, this isn't the Bill Michaels show.
That's where I leave, and I probably have to leave anyway. So.
That is a how we look.
I just got an email. I just got an landmark.
Come on.
I just got an email, no lie, from a guy named Zach Morris.
I need you to read the label and then play the audio, and that's it. Come on.
Yeah, play it like it's a cut sheet, like we're doing a highlight.
No, I got Lucas Van Ness here on the phone. It's exclusive. Lucas Van Motions. What were your emotions tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at a loss for words. Just, finally coming to the defense of my emotions. I'm extremely happy to see this all come to fruition. Since I decided to come out around.
It only counts if we can hear you checking your email in the background.
I spent 3 months in California training for the combine. So many meetings and interviews and flying around top 30 visits.
You guys want to sub?
Day to day.
Not that guy.
I couldn't have asked for a better result, and I'm just so happy to be a Packer, and I can't wait to get out there and wear that green.
Lucas Van Ness, who was drafted number 1 by the Packers. He did meet with the Packers. People forget.
It's awesome, and honestly, I was thinking about it. When I was out in California, Kenny Clark was another guy that was out there trending with us, obviously at the time it was Aaron was out there with us too, so I got a little involved in the culture and how things work around the Green Bay building and the drive and the motor and the play style you guys have. But from the get-go, my goal was to come in and learn from a veteran and really learn what it means to be a pro. And I'm just so happy I have some veteran guys to look up to and learn after, and I can't wait to get in the building and meet them.
I like a guy like Luke Van Ness. He's got that real there's the Midwest, but there's also like the Great Plains Midwest, home of Sturgis, where I will be on my motorcycle ride with my Fuck Biden hoodie loud and clear. Lucas Van Ness, he did not start at Iowa. Lucas, what was the deal there?
I've gotten this question thousands of times over the last few months, and again, I mean, it was I was very happy with the way my time at Iowa went. It's just the Iowa way. I had 2 great fifth-year seniors in front of me who did the time, and they gave the years into their program. And Coach Ferentz has been there for about, I think this is incoming 25th year, 24th or 25th. Excuse if I'm wrong there, but
it's okay.
He's got a way of doing things at the developmental program where they bring guys in, and I understood my role, my position, and I just did whatever was asked of me.
Yeah, that's really great stuff, Lucas, and I appreciate you joining me on the Bart Michaels Show. Where were you when you were watching the draft?
I'm actually in Fontana, Wisconsin. actually pretty close to home here now. So was almost seemed meant to be, and I was here with my family and friends, and my dad and mom both have a few siblings they brought over, and brought everyone close to me. So just really made it a special event, a special night, and couldn't have asked for a better pick than to be here with the Packers.
Okay, stop.
And obviously
Hey,
no.
Yes.
Stop.
Chicago, and
No.
I was always a hockey kid. So honestly, I was a Blackhawk fan, and couldn't be happier to be on Green Bay.
No, we're actually Fontana. That's great. We're actually going to be at Chuck's Lakeshore Inn in Fontana, right on the river there, for a cigar dinner, 352 Lake Street, Fontana on Geneva Lake. We're going to be out there Thursday night. Come on by. I mean, it'll be exciting again. What's going to happen is that I'm going to go there and TJ Watt it in the back seat and then come out. Oh, we've got a draft pick that's relevant to talk about. So
that's why I was telling you to shush.
Why do you disappear?
Because I can't. I'm on my phone, so if I want to go look at something,
yeah, that's why, Paul.
Kincaid, man, I like this pick for Buffalo.
You know what? Can you just be quiet, Toby? Because I think there's you got to pour one out for the fact that he is off the board for Packers fans, not you Commanders dudes.
Well,
Dalton Kincaid. What about Michael Mayer? He's still there. Who cares?
Yeah, I was going to give you a reason that I like it for Buffalo.
But I don't want to hear that, though.
Well, there's other tight ends that the Packers can get. Like, Kincaid's the best receiving one, but if you ended up with, Musgrave or Laporta, are you going to be that disappointed?
No.
Downtown Billy
Washington
says Bills
also
are already paying a Dalton tight end a lot of money. That's right. Everyone's favorite tight end, Dalton Knox.
Well, hold on. Dawson Knox and Kincaid in the game at the same time, they struggle running the football so badly. They can actually run a 2 tight end set, have Diggs, have Davis out there, run the football maybe. They never can run it. So now they can actually try.
They need a running
Kincaid
back.
had a Packers hat behind him.
Yep.
Oh, that makes me sad. Hey, since we were getting that exclusive,
What?
Because he wouldn't have been on the Bart Winkler show like Van Ness was tonight.
I was going to say, since we got the exclusive interview with Van Ness, I was just wondering, Bart, could you take a look at the box score and tell me what Zach Lowe did for the Bucks last night?
He was kind of just throwing in the deal, but
he was just more of a throw-in more than anything.
He was just a throw-in.
All-time moment.
He was just a throw-in.
That man got paid for that job.
Bart, is Ichiro a Hall of Famer?
I don't know. Do you count his hits in Japan?
What do you think?
What's your level of concern?
What?
What's your level of concern?
By the way,
I want to remind you. Here you go, guys.
what's your biggest key to a victory this Sunday?
Who wants to have a little fun here?
Obviously.
All right. Here we go.
The Bucks have gotten even better. According to Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN New Orleans and Milwaukee, and the Pistons have gotten involved in a deal that's going to send multiple second-round picks to the Pelicans for Mirotic and Zach Lowe. Mirotic coming to the Bucks now. That's huge. That's a good get. Man, that's a good get. Zach Lowe is a throw-in in all of this.
No, Zach, ESPN Insider. He was the Zach Lowe had it first.
Oh,
sorry about that.
Hey.
855-830-8667.
Bart, next
Hall of
time I
Fame.
see you, you have an 8 gig flash drive. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my God.
This show, man.
Do you remember the edits that you made of his interviews with the position coaches?
Yeah, let me see if I have those.
That might be the hardest I've ever laughed in my entire life.
If I have
Bart,
those,
what do you
I'll play
think?
them.
I know that I have them
unit
somewhere.
What?
I think your most unit-esque moment is it the Charles Lee comment?
Carlos Subiero. But then that's how his buddy called it. Come to find out, it was Subero.
I only can find 2 of them.
Okay.
So what Bill did was Bill would interview some of the position coaches of these guys.
Because
and then
Joe
I edited them together with old Bill clips. So here's a fake interview, Bill and Josiah DeGuara's coach. I don't know which ones. I don't know if these are the good ones or the bad ones or.
This was a good one.
Let's go to Mike Denbrock, Cincinnati football offensive coordinator, joining us now. Coach, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing fantastic. How's life in Green Bay?
Suck me.
A lot of times, comes down to how willing you are to kind of stick your face on somebody.
Okay. Stay safe, okay?
I played that on the radio. I played that on the radio. I played that on the radio. How do people not like my show?
I missed that one. I can't believe I missed that one.
I gotta play the beginning again at least.
Yeah, play it again.
Mike Denbrock, Cincinnati football offensive coordinator, joining us now. Coach, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing fantastic. How's life in Green Bay?
Suck me.
Wait. How did you play that on the radio?
Because what I did, my segment was, I he talked to these guys, so then I edited them together with like Bill drops we had.
Yeah, but I mean, how did you drop the F-bomb?
No, he said suck me.
Yeah,
like that's any better.
Oh, really? Both times I heard it with an F.
No, suck me.
We played all 3 of them on Dan and I's producer podcast that 4 people listen to.
Who is Maisie? Who is defensive tackle Maisie Smith from Michigan that the Cowboys just took?
Interior.
We'll catch up in a minute. He says suck me. And then I have one with Bill Runyon's coach.
Yes.
Is this a good one?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I've listened to these.
Ed Warner, the Michigan offensive line coach, joining us now on the Schneider Orange Hotline. Coach, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic. How are you guys?
What do you think?
So I think,
Shut up!
my point being is,
Stop it!
yeah.
Oh my gosh. What are we doing?
Who cares?
I know I have the 3rd one somewhere. I'll see if I can.
There were 5 of them.
I need those. I need
I heard 3.
email.
No, there were
This
5.
is what the internet was invented for.
I know. I need those ASAP. Those are fantastic.
Toby and I had
Lead in for your
folders
show.
back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
Suck me.
I taught Toby well.
Suck me to be the lead-in for every Winkler pod. It needs to be in.
You want a COVID, you want a COVID one?
Suck me.
You want a COVID one?
For
obviously.
some reason, him just saying hi is as funny as the rest of it.
More and more that healthy people should not be wearing masks because the masks on the outside collect the viruses. And if you continually wear the same mask or only have a couple, if you don't have a whole stockpile of them, then you're basically putting infection back on your face. It's better for your immune system to be able to fortify this stuff and battle this stuff
Your
up. whatever
immune
it is.
system has to fortify. He says fortify. Like it's a
I'm
goddamn
surprised you-
offensive line.
Yeah, solidify that offensive line in your immune system.
Toby's done.
Hey, I'm pretty
Oh, wait, he's
pumped
back.
about. I'm pretty pumped about Tucker Carlson getting 57 million views out of his basement because that means that it's working.
I didn't realize Tucker was also a basement boy now.
Yeah, basement
Not let go.
broadcasters are where it's at. All right. Oh, I guess I'll go look at a couple picks since I honestly have no clue what happened. Dalton Kincaid went to the Bills. Mazzie Smith, the defensive tackle, went to the Cowboys out of Michigan.
Interior guy, can play a little bit everywhere, but more of a run stuffer.
Like, I know everyone complains about the first pick taking so long, but why are these picks taking so long? Is it
The
people
draft
on the
is just
stage?
garbage.
Well, do you think someone's going to trade back into the first round here, kind of like the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson to come get Will Levis or Hendon Hooker?
Well, I think that's why we're still fucking around here, really.
What do you think?
What do you think?
Suck me. Talking about draft night, so I liken myself as a pretty big NFL draft guy, and a buddy of mine asked me a couple years ago, like, hey, do you want to go to the draft? And I'm like, I would literally rather watch soccer than the NFL draft live. Like,
I don't know why I'd want
love-
to sit there in the crowd.
Yeah, it doesn't look fun.
stand there, like, you don't get to hear awesome sound drops in between picks. Like, you just stand there and wave pom-poms and hope that the cameras come over by you. Like, what? And people pay to do this.
I think it was cool when it was in Vegas. That would have been fun to go to.
I feel like the old school draft could have been fun when it was at Radio City Music Hall and like before it got huge.
Oh my gosh.
Another thing I want to talk about, just how bad we lost to the Miami Heat.
Why?
A lot of stars on that team. Gabe Vincent, Jimmy Butler.
Hey, the Miami Heat look like they're going to sign All-Star Bam Amadeo.
Shams Chernia reports that one.
Amadeo, is that?
He said Bam Amadeo, who he said was a free agent, and there was a lot of interest in him.
The Bucks have traded for Zach Lowe. Just a thrown in the deal. You know, I can confirm that piece of audio did get to Zach Lowe.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
From
What kind of reaction?
Huh?
From you?
Well, I started the food chain, but it got to him. Yeah.
Was it Gelbsy?
No.
Come on, think harder.
Somebody needs to send Zach Lowe a custom Bucks jersey. Thanks for being part of the Meritage deal.
With no number, just throw in as the number.
Throw in. So we got Jacksonville, Cincinnati, New Orleans, Philly, and Kansas City. I do not think I'll be going live tomorrow night. You know, it's my first I haven't done a draft show on night one ever. I always get stuck to day two. And they like never tell me until Friday morning. Oh, you're coming for the draft show tonight? I'm like, you paying me extra? No. Well, what are your talent costs? Do I get a producer? No.
I just want to point out, Toby looks like he's wearing Sheamus's crown from when he was King of the Ring. Perfectly lined up there. There we go. Better.
Bart,
I might have one more good draft moment.
Do you have your audio of Jose DeGuara?
When you got drafted?
Yeah.
I might. I got to
My
find
dad,
where
by
all
the
these
way.
are. Because a lot of them I have.
DeGuara is going to eat this year, by the way.
The other thing I'm trying to find is when Cody Rhodes or Cody Grant spoiled Josh Jackson for us. He's like, people are saying Josh Jackson. And we're like, shut the fuck up, Cody.
Wonder what he does. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah, I was door dashing the other day, or like when I was door dashing, and I was really sure that I was door dashing at like his girlfriend's apartment, and I like have never moved faster in my life.
His current girlfriend or his girlfriend from 3-4 years ago?
Well, he had a girlfriend, and then randomly they lived together. He broke up and he like moved out. And then randomly he met a new girl and he went back to her place, and it was like across the parking lot apartment complex wise from the old one. And he would go there at night and hear his old dog whimpering out the window.
Oh my God. Is that a real story?
Yeah. I just thought it was the saddest shit I've ever heard.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that.
All right. This isn't as funny, but we're 2 hours in, and this is the DeGuara draft reaction from me and Ryan Horvat. If anyone would like to hear that.
Yes, please.
It's a little longer, I think, maybe. 2 minutes.
With the 94th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Josiah DeGuara, tight end, Cincinnati.
Oh, man. Dude, look at this guy. Am I supposed to break this down? Second in AAC, 504 receptions. 504 receptions would be nice. 504 receiving yards, 7 touchdowns, career 92 receptions, over 1,000 yards. 12 touchdowns while at Cincinnati. A tight end that'll get to carry Jay Sternberger's shoulder pads. I'm baffled. Honestly, I am stunned. I'm shocked. Bart, do you have anything to say?
What Jacob Eason's doing on his couch right now is exactly how I'm laying.
I would have rather taken Jacob Eason to back up Love in 3 years.
He's just like, why did I even participate in this today?
Yeah, man. Can we shut this down? Can I go home? Should I say that? Can I say
How
that?
many people we got on the phone?
None.
Really?
I think everybody's just. I can't break down this pick. Dan's at the airport, probably trying to get away from this disaster. Dan, what's up?
No kidding, man. I mean, what am I sleeping through? Everything's like a blur for the last 2 months, right? And then you follow it up with this. I don't know if I'm watching the XFL now or what are they going to put out there? But
I do wish the draft got postponed after all, I've decided.
Yeah, no kidding, Bart. Man, that would have been
They shouldn't
nice.
have done this. This was inconsiderate of the NFL.
I don't know who this guy is, Bart.
He's a projected 6th rounder.
I watch more guys. This isn't like a brag. I watch way too much college football. Like my wife probably wants to leave me because of it. And I honestly have no clue who the hell this guy is. I don't know who he is. How do I say his name?
Josiah DeGuara.
I got it. Blonde hair in his senior year picture. Jesus.
The funny thing about that was, remember, I'm pretty sure he was sleeping because that was night 2 during the COVID draft. And they like showed his house and they panned towards the upstairs.
I do. Thank you for reminding me that Horvat is like the epitome of like the worst guy to watch the draft with. Like, this guy would have been drafted here. Who the fuck is this?
No, this wasn't like drafting Lucas Van Ness and being like, this was drafting Josiah DeGuara.
Awesome, by the way.
What?
Oh my God.
Your audio got bad.
Oh, my bad. I've got his jersey. That's
Yeah, you know whose
talking shit about
jersey I
DeGuara.
used to have? Tom Crabtree. How did that work everybody out? Tom Crabtree died so Kurt Benkert could live. 414-799. We have another pick, guys, that we missed. Oh, a couple of them. Wow. Jacksonville took Anton Harrison, offensive tackle, Oklahoma. At 28, Cincinnati took Miles Murphy, edge rusher from Clemson.
I like that pick.
We've got the Saints, Eagles, and Chiefs. Are we going to see Will Levis selected? And for those of you just joining us, we're still trying to break down why on planet Earth Zay Flowers went ahead of Jordan Addison.
Yes.
Toby.
Hey, you'll learn when Jordan Addison is tearing it up against Eric Stokes.
biggest travesty of the century.
Douglas.
I don't know what Paul is doing.
I'm reading some Van Ness stuff.
Yeah, anything you can share with us since that's why you're here?
I think you'd appreciate that ESPN.com, each beat writer is doing like a quick 2 paragraphs on the draft picks. And your guy Domofsky's opening line of his paragraph was, wouldn't it have been something had the Packers done for Jordan Love what they never did for Aaron Rodgers and drafted a pass catcher? And I immediately thought of you and the low-hanging fruit that was quickly picked by your guy.
How would you like to hear me interact with Bill?
Yes.
Here's a 2-minute clip.
Yeah,
You must have got pretty drunk last night.
That never went out.
Was all set to provide a nice little segment for the folks. Top 3, bottom 3 with my friends Chuck and Brendan.
Mm-hmm.
When I was tweeted at from the big unit, Bill Michaels, 10-2 on the Fan. It always amazes me how people read or hear what they want to, including the mental minion Winks things. Now, what I had read last night on Twitter was a tweet from Bill. He says it was our show, as described by many, that pushed through the arena. And so I said on the air today, Bill took credit for single-handedly building the arena. Was that a logical conclusion? You're not going to back me up. You like Bill more than me.
Well, that's not. I mean, I do like Bill, but I told you already. You know, we all had a part in it. I think we all played our own part into, this arena. As far as we have our little corner of the world of being a part of this, but we're not the reason why.
But I just want to say, Bill's tweet was, it was our show as described by many that pushed through the arena and called us the most knowledgeable point of reference. So Bill Michaels, who is in Green Bay, Billy Mike.
Mm-hmm.
How is what I said about how is what I said wrong?
What part of that did I say it was me?
I
said, as described by many.
He's such a
And
dick.
in 140 characters, you can't get into everything.
Shut up.
And we have traveled the state. I have traveled the state. We have been approached by senators and state representatives continuously.
Yep.
As I sit here today in Green Bay, this being one of the areas that said it, because we had the Green Bay senator on.
Yeah, you did a good
was
job.
adamant against the arena.
Here we're going.
And got loaded with phone calls and ended up voting for it.
You did a good job with that. I said that.
Okay, that's what I'm referring to. And people said that we were taking credit for it. No, I'm just saying what happened was that people started complaining because we didn't talk enough Bucks. Okay. And I said, we are going to talk Bucks. And then people started to get honest about not talking enough about the Milwaukee Bucks. And I said, hey, if you win more, the more relevant you become, the more we'll talk about you.
I've got a tweet here from Bill_Michaels. I took credit for everything. I built the arena. When did you send that one?
Wow.
Yeah,
You must
that
have
never
got pretty
went out.
drunk last night.
That never went out.
I learned a lot of I did learn a lot of things in my debates with Bill over the years. One is the way to win an argument is to always pivot from what the other guy is arguing.
Right.
So if I start to argue about Bill or about a topic, he'll like find the one sliver of an opening and start to take it a different direction. And then I start to get mad that he's doing that. So then my voice gets raised. And when you're in an argument publicly and you're the one whose voice is raised, you're the one who people think is wrong because you're doing the screaming. You're not calm, cool, and collected. So I would love to have Bill back on my show. I think that Bill and I could produce some really decent, I think we could produce some good radio. It's just that deep down, we just despise each other so fucking much. And it's like, it's mutual. Like he might be the one guy. He might be the one guy who actually hates me more than I hate him. You know, like I'm shitting on all these guys left and right, taking all my shot. He might be the one guy who just like hates me even more.
Speaking of Bill Michaels, there was some sleuthing that was done on Twitter in regards to Lucas Van Ness. It's more than likely that Bill will be a fan of Lucas Van Ness because apparently he's a MAGA.
Oh, are there some old tweets?
Well, I guess people are just putting the connecting dots based on who he follows on Twitter. So can't be perfect.
Well, as long as he can give me a good 3 technique and get to the quarterback.
You better not be drinking that Bud Light.
I do have a problem with Bud Light. This whole thing, it's fucking gross. It's not good.
I
That's my
love Bud
problem with
Light.
Bud Light.
Beer, of course it's gross.
Bud Light's great.
Yeah, right.
I would take that over a lot of light beers.
I would take it over like gutter water, piss.
It's gluten-free.
That's about it.
The only time I drank Bud Light was when I took the saddest trip to Las Vegas of all time. It was me and my other friend that we don't really party a lot, so we really went for sports betting. But when we went and hit the town, we found a tiny little bar inside of the Hooters casino that was like as big as a bedroom. And they had games of Silver Strike bowling for 50 cents a piece and $1 bottles of Bud Light. So we just stayed there for like 7 hours and played Silver Strike in Las Vegas. And we were in bed by like 10 p.m. It was a great Vegas experience.
The Saints have selected Brian Breesy, defensive tackle Clemson. We've got the Eagles and the Chiefs. Doesn't look like Levis is going round 1.
Wow.
So now what this will do is
storyline.
It will spur, and this is where the draft is different. It will spur, like, remember the year that the Packers had the first pick in the 4th round and they took Vince Beagle? And for a whole night, it was like, could they trade? Could they trade? Because all of a sudden, there's a lot more value in that pick because you've got a whole like day to talk about it and try to trade up for it. So when we look to tomorrow, it should be the Bears and then Texans unless there were trades. And I think there were trades with.
No, it's Pittsburgh, then the Cardinals, then Detroit.
With all these
I would
trades,
say the trade possibility would be for one of these last few picks, because if you want a quarterback, you want that 5th year, and you don't get it as a 2nd round pick. So
yeah, so if someone wants Levis, they got to get up there
get him
now.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But
Good job.
PMs have subscribed to your theory, Bart, that there is a red flag that Levis sucks.
Yeah, he's not that good. I don't think so.
If you are confident in being able to develop your quarterback, letting him sit for a year or two, a la the way Green Bay tends to like to do things, I think there's a lot to like there with Will Levis.
Because tomorrow it's Steelers, Cardinals, Lions. Yeah, there's just been trades everywhere.
Well, I mean, like, what is there? Like, he has a cannon of an arm, but okay.
Maybe you could see the Rams trade up. Tomorrow you have Steelers, Cardinals, Lions, or the Lions. Maybe the Lions get in for Levis, or maybe they just say, fuck
Tennessee.
it. I mean, what, Toby?
Tennessee.
Ooh, Alex makes an incredible point. KC won't trade their pick with the draft in town and all these fans.
Well, I don't feel like they're gonna. If Michael Mayer is there, maybe they take him. I don't know.
Be the mayor apparent to Travis Kelce.
Wow.
Hooker might slip into the back of the 1st round for the reason you brought up, but I don't.
Oh yeah, Hooker too. Yeah, I took the over on 4.5 quarterbacks in the 1st round. Just on little stupid free things, but I'll be wrong about that.
Well, Tennessee was rumored to try to get up to 3 to maybe snag Stroud. Maybe they're in on Levis, and then they would consider moving up to the beginning of the 2nd round to pick a guy. I don't know. Atlanta.
It is really bizarre with this Levis situation because the other night I think he was like minus 20,000 or whatever it was.
Reddit post.
Yeah,
that was real
overnight.
weird.
His odds of being the number 1 overall pick jumped from minus 20 million to like minus 350.
Jake wants to know if I'll do this tomorrow. I'm not going to plan on it. I was going to be live tomorrow for the Bucks, and then it would be a draft Bucks show. Paul's not here. The Celtics won. They're moving on.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe they got that dude.
Who went?
Well, I don't want to. I guess I can spoil it. No one cares.
No one cares.
Nolan Smith to the Eagles. Another
Oh, and where's
Jordan.
he?
Wow.
Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Nolan Smith.
Who do they think?
So a
they
lot of
are,
people are
the
talking
Green
about
Bay
Jalen
Packers?
Carter. Like, just take him.
Gosh, I want to punch Nick Sirianni in the face.
I know a lot of these guys, like when there's off the field stuff, but they're like none of it doesn't matter. Just if you're trying to win football games, you take them. Brandon Miller's
This
going to go
particular
top
one was
2.
kind of weird, though.
No one cares.
Like,
Huh?
the scene of a deadly accident. That's
Well, Brandon Miller's going to be
kinda-
the second overall pick in the NBA draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Well,
The level of talent is, you know.
How ridiculous does it look now that people didn't want to pick Laramie Tunsil?
Here, I don't know if he's calling for a voicemail or not, but you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Is this Cone?
Yeah.
What's up, Cone?
You know, I can't believe the Packers took that motherfucker. Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, all I know is that you were always like shitting on him and his sister or something.
Yeah, I got some legit boots on the ground. Him and his sister are way too close. I can send you some pictures of it, Bart. You are not going to be happy. This guy does not carry the G. I'm surprised he didn't go to fucking Alabama, for Christ's sake.
Hot Take Jake is rolling his head at you.
All right, Hot Take. Let's talk. Let's get in a space and talk.
Well,
How are you
I'm
doing tonight,
confused
Cone?
about the Alabama.
Good. I just had dinner with a lovely man, Packer fan. We were talking about the draft, closed some business with him. It was a good dinner.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought of you immediately when they took Van Ness, though. Toby's screen, you look like your Bruce Almighty gift typing. Go ahead, Cone.
He's been
Bill
off
Michaels
my
over
board
there.
for a good 5-6 months, and I just can't believe Goody would take this motherfucker.
Well, who do you want now? What, guys?
I mean, where did JSN end up?
Seattle.
Guys, dude, perfect. They're going to announce the Eagles pick.
Who's going to the Eagles?
Who cares? Dude, Perfect's announcing it.
I told you, Nolan Smith.
God. Oh, yeah, Nolan Smith.
You know, I
Wait,
got to give
Toby,
a lot
can you
of
do me a favor?
respect to those Dude Perfect guys. A lot of people shit all over them, but
You know what the guys I like? The guys that like test science where they shoot
Who's he
like
talking about?
guns through like 20 balloons. Or the guys that drop watermelons down off the sky.
metal-pointed dart.
You know what sucks about some of these YouTube and Facebook aggregators is if you like watch one or two of their videos in full, it's all you ever see is these fucking people. Anyway,
Yeah, Zuckerberg knows how to hook you, man.
I know he's got me hooked and crooked.
The lizard people.
Yeah.
You'd be happy to know Hot Take Jake's wearing a Badger jersey, but it's Bull Callahan.
Well, I made a wardrobe switch. My buddy texted me making fun of me for wearing Wisconsin, so I put my Willie Beeman jersey on.
Oh, you're like, so you have multiple movie jerseys?
I collect movie jerseys.
Go get your Shane Falco.
I have a Bobby Boucher in my closet.
Hold on. I'm gonna bring it in the collection.
I got to see this.
All right, so let me see what I got here. First of all,
Oh, and you got anything else?
Nothing really. I would have joined the stream, but I just didn't bring my paper bag out to California with me.
And they notoriously don't have any Trader Joe's out there.
Well, they might because, Trader Joe's, they don't, an interesting fact about Trader Joe's, they don't do any market research on where they place their stores. They let Whole Foods do all the work. So whenever there's a Whole Foods, there's most likely a Trader Joe's within a 0.5-mile radius.
I think that's a smart move.
I think so too. But, the benefit of Trader Joe's is typically that, it's an affordable grocery store. But then they're placing it in all these Pat Connaughton gentrified motherfucking apartment complexes. And it doesn't really serve its purpose of being an affordable grocery store because it's in these gentrified areas. It's just kind of, it's defeating the message of what Trader Joe's initially set out to do. And that is a huge issue I have in today's world is when these companies, these big corporate, Bud Light, Trader Joe's, one more thing about fucking Bud Light is Bill Michaels is sponsored by Bud Light. I mean, is he dropping the sponsorship? What's he doing?
It's a great question.
People are asking. Maybe you should call into his show tomorrow and ask him.
No, I'm not a real man. I don't call into Bill's show.
Not alpha enough for that.
All right, Cohen. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, I love you, Bart. Hope you're doing well. Fuck Luke Van Ness, that sister fucking motherfucker.
Wow.
I think Cohen's like where I was last night. Show me the collection, Jake.
All right, so first things first, this is a Chicago Cubs jersey that I stole from the Cubs when I was a bat boy in the.
It better be Henry Rowan Gardner, I mean.
No, I actually got it customized for 2003. So I would wear this to Brewers.
You were a bat boy at Wrigley?
No, at Miller Park.
Oh.
So I would do it for the visiting team.
Really?
So I would, I stole this from the bat boy bag, and I got it customized to wear to Brewers games when they would play the Cubs. So then Cubs fans would high five me. Then I would turn around and show them this, and then they would give me the finger. So I've got from basketball.
Nice.
Beers jersey, Doug Reamer.
Someone just asked, do you have a Milwaukee Beers jersey?
Fuck yeah.
There it is. Let's see. I got bring it through here. I just saw it. Oh, here it is. I've got Jesus Shuttlesworth from Lincoln High.
Yeah. Remember when Paul's video froze and
here?
blamed the three of us?
Mm-hmm. I've got the spiritual father of Shooter McGavin, which is Roger Dorn from the Cleveland Indians.
Nice.
Oh, shout out to Chris for giving the show $10.
Attaboy, Chris. This is the content you're paying for.
Yeah,
this might be my favorite. This is the Hingle McCringleberry from Key and Peele fame. And then Bart asked for it, number 16 in your programs, number 1 in your hearts. Shane Falco from the Replacements. Yeah, man, it's like a pretty cool collection. I've got actually I take it back. This might be my favorite. We talked about The Office earlier. Do you remember the ice rink episode?
Mm-hmm. From Dwight, number 1.
So, Michael's present from Dwight, number 1. And what else?
How often do you wear these?
Everybody's not very, just various sporting events. I got Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks.
Goldberg's meth out to shit now.
I thought he turned his life
maybe.
around. I got Bill Murray from Space Jam as well.
Oh yeah, clutch.
But yeah, that's and then I'm wearing Steam and Willie Beeman, of course.
Do these idiots draft yet?
My wife's staring at me right now because she wants to go to bed.
I want to go. I got to take a dump. I've been on YouTube for 2.5 hours.
Oh, Bart, you also saw in my office, I have the boss, Stan Ross from Mr. 3000 as well.
Oh, that's something to have. Do you guys know Eric Stonestreet from Modern Family's a Chiefs fan?
What?
Yeah, and Rob Riggle.
Shut the fuck up.
Paul Rudd, too.
Paul Rudd, too, yeah.
Wow. And that smoke show Heidi Gardner.
Paul Rudd doesn't watch football. Smoke show? Really?
Who's your SNL crush right now?
SNL's awful. I couldn't tell you who's on the show. It's
Cecily
so
Strong
bad.
was mine, then she left.
So bad.
I might go with Chloe
All
Fineman at
time
this
though.
point.
Cecily Strong. Cecily Strong is a strong pick.
Yeah.
Kristen Wiig back in the day, she had it going on.
I think it'd have to be-
she was only on for a couple seasons. Abby Elliott.
That's a good one.
Oh, you know who I do love is young Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I like her.
Mm-hmm. I
But
think
then
I
again,
would-
one of my first crushes was
Oh yeah.
like 30-year-old Annie McDowell in Groundhog's Day when I was 9.
I think my SNL crush would probably have to be
Laney had it
Tim
going on.
Robinson.
Who?
Tim Robinson.
Yeah.
You were a former baby of the year, that is for sure.
That is. Don't.
If Bart Harley Jarvis wins, I will kill myself on live TV.
If what?
If Bart Harley Jarvis wins Baby of the Year,
My bad.
relax. They grow up. They don't stay babies forever.
This is perfect because my computer's about
Hey,
to
a couple
die,
weeks. Season 3.
and we've got one last pick. I don't know how much battery I have left. I'm 10%. Okay. So we'll get the pick.
Go down with the ship.
I think we've said everything there is to say about anything there is to say. Thank you guys for both being here. I'm going to Lisa Byington say thank you to everybody. 2 quarters too early, 3 games too early. Once she started reading the crew members, I was like, oh, fuck, we're going to lose this game. Could you imagine going downtown, standing for 5 hours in a packed crowd to see who the 31st pick in the draft is?
Especially if you can't.
You have to really hate
see
yourself
if
to still
you're
be there.
winning back.
If Mike Greenberg needed a day off, how about Mark Cuban being so mad at Eric Name he wants GPT to ask questions? This really
So
sucks.
is there
What?
some sort of beef between Giannis and Name?
No, not
No.
at all. That's why he even answered it in the first place, because he really likes Name. Like Name is the only
Okay.
one that gets.
Somebody said that they didn't get along.
No, Name's like the only one that gets one-on-ones with Giannis.
Okay. Well, that makes me happy then, because I like Name.
Jokic, Giannis still gives him shit for drafting Jokic or giving Jokic the MVP last year. Name said that on the show. I'm not speaking out of turn.
Rightfully so.
The pick is in, and ESPN and the NFL Network are just like, let's just let Chiefs fans dance.
Yeah, I'm just watching them chop.
Yeah.
I love cheering for my Commanders as I watch the Chiefs do the tomahawk chop.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's the Daniel Snyder thing.
Also,
Do the Braves still chop?
yes. Yep. They just don't
Do you
play the
remember when Kai and Tai choppy Val's pee-pee?
Oh, wow, they're really making a spectacle out of putting down the Lombardi.
You miss Washington football team.
I just think it's incredible that Washington picked a name that was worse than Washington football team.
The first round of the draft should not be longer than the Super Bowl.
I liked Washington football team.
Of the 2023 NFL Draft,
Hey, speaking of the Chiefs,
select Felix Enrique Uzama.
No, I didn't stay up for that. Fuck that shit. I didn't stay
Local
up.
guy, K-State edge rusher.
Okay. They shot fireworks off after that pick.
Well, this was a 2.5 hour pod. I'm posting
Late
pretty much
riser,
the whole
too.
thing. I don't know, listening back if it's going to be as good as watching live, but
Just cut the one part out with Bill, and then
in the moment, it was amazing.
just do the Bill stuff.
That might have been the only usable part.
That's good enough.
Well, it's 11 o'clock. I got a guy to get an
I
episode
would
of
love
Iron
to see
Fist
the
in.
Winkler podcast
Go to
feed
bed.
come up tomorrow, and it's like,
Well, I did the Bucks one. I'm
wanna see
fine.
that
I
pop
did.
up in my
I did the
podcast
Bucks
feed
one.
tomorrow.
I've got 2 podcasts for your consumption. Very good with that, guys. Good to catch up with you guys.
See ya.
Sir, I'll make sure to do it more.
All right.
So, have a good one.